Single A Boys Hockey Championship game. Greenway and Hermantown. And it is coming up next on WDIO.
Welcome to the 7-8 pregame show.
Got to practice. Looks for
The Minnesota State High School League Boys Hockey Championship pregame show is brought to you by Papa Murphy's. Back it up a notch.
Well, good evening, everyone, from Amsoil Arena in beautiful downtown Duluth, where it is tournament time, and we have the Section 7 Single A Championship game. And guess what? Hermantown is back. They're back for the 10th straight time. They're trying to win 10 in a row, and they play Greenway, and Greenway is here for the third consecutive time. I'm Steve Jazerski. Craig Caracas is with me. Dan Williamson is down at ringside. Craig, we've got a matchup tonight. Again, if you look on paper, you'll wonder. But we know what Greenway has to offer, and they will offer Hermantown a lot tonight.
I think you're right, and these teams, as you mentioned, they're familiar with each other. This is the fourth consecutive year they'll have met in the playoffs, third consecutive year in the championship, and yeah, I think we're in for a dandy. We're going to throw the records out. We're going to go cliche on the bit, but really, we're going to throw them out because Greenway's had a tough schedule, as has Hermantown, but I think tonight these two teams are ready for one another.
And there's so much contrasting talent on the ice tonight, too. That's going to be fun. We'll talk more about that. Let's bring in our partner, Dan Williamson. Dan?
Guys, the anticipation, you can cut with a knife. We're about 30 minutes away from the puck dropping. These two teams did meet during the regular season. It was Hermantown winning at home 4-0. But both teams come in on some nice streaks. The Hawks, 17 games they are unbeaten. The Raiders have won 8 straight. Something's got to give. Guys, that's you.
And Greenway has not lost since Logan Wright took over the full-time goaltending chores. We've got all that and more when we come back on the Papa Murphy's pregame show right here on WDIO.
Itasca offers one of the best engineering transfer programs using project-based learning.
I chose Itasca because I get paid teaching experience in my first year.
Our team has won the conference 9 years in a row.
I can study abroad for thousands less than at a 4-year college.
My program leads directly to a career in the outdoors.
I can stay in the area and get a good job with benefits.
Itasca Community College is the best place to start.
Warmth makes the difference. The Fireplace Corner has the warmth that you want with the best-looking flame in Duluth. Visit our amazing fireplace showroom to see the latest designs and trends. Convert your wood fireplace from ugly, drafty, and dated to a safe and efficient gas insert from Heat and Glow. We install, and our work is backed by a 100% done-right guarantee. Call today for 18-month deferred interest financing. Visit the Fireplace Corner, your local gas fireplace experts with the best-looking flame in Duluth. Or click thefireplacecorner.com for more information.
When you're having sewer or drain issues, the last thing you want is to wait for help. At Midway Sewer Service, we make every effort to get to you as soon as possible, day or night. Residential and commercial emergency services, pump replacements, drain cleaning, pipe location service, and video inspection. You name it, we fix it.
Back to the Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza pregame show. Steve Jazerski, Craig Caracas, Dan Williamson, and at ringside, it's Greenway, it's Hermantown. Two great teams, outstanding talent on the ice. Let's learn more about the Raiders from Dan on this preview brought to you by Cleveland Cliffs.
Greenway has played in the state tournament 9 times. The last time, 2001. They've been close the past 2 years. On and off the ice, the road to returning to the section final has not been easy. But they're here, and they're ready to end that state win. A year ago, the rematch. And 2 periods and 1 overtime weren't enough. It took 2 OTs, and the Raiders had to watch Hermantown celebrate again.
When we lost that sophomore year, it's really hit me, and then losing last year in double overtime, it hit me a lot harder.
At 14 and 13, there's been peaks and valleys. An 0-5 stretch in December. And a recent 2-7 stretch that included losses at Hermantown and to Bemidji outdoors on Hockey Day, Minnesota.
Yeah, our schedule was difficult, and we went through adversity like every other teams, and our kids never quit. They never quit one time. They showed up every single day despite the adversity, and battle.
We definitely have a lot of skill, and when we come to the rink ready to play hard work, we're definitely one of the harder teams to beat.
They've won 8 straight. The latest, a 6-2 decision over Duluth Denfeld in the section semifinals. A hat trick for Dante Lawson in that game.
That's his 30th goal of the year.
As he extended his goal streak to 6 games.
Our line's really been clicking, I guess, and our team as a whole has been really going good, and I can't thank them enough either.
It was a tough family decision for him to suit up, as his younger brother Dominic underwent a 3rd kidney transplant in Minneapolis. His brother told him to play, and that they'd have 2 victories that night.
I think it would be a drastic overlook to say that Dante didn't play for his brother the way he played. I mean, you can't say enough good things about him, and I just think when you come out and play like that with the situation that he has going on, the character level of his really showed. The kids played hard for him. I mean, they played for his brother, they played for Dante.
A proud program with a proud community watching. The Raiders have returned, and they're ready to make the 3rd time the charm.
We're kind of just hungry for that win, and obviously everyone wants to go to state, and we worked hard to get there.
We're told Dom's surgery went well. Dom and Dante's dad is former Greenway head coach Jim Bird Lawson. Guys, back to you.
Dante Lawson is electrifying. I'm looking forward to seeing him on the ice tonight, along with the rest of the Raiders, and of course the Hawks. And we will have more on the Hermantown Hawks and what has become just an outstanding program in the state of Minnesota. We'll do that when we return on the Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza Pregame show right here on WDIO. The Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza Pregame show. Well, Greenway, we saw a little package on them just earlier, just a moment ago, and that brought to you by Cleveland Cliffs. Let's learn more about this year's Hermantown Hawks team. We know they are shooting for a 10th straight state tournament. Dan has more on the Hawks, and this is brought to you by Cleveland Cliffs.
You know, guys, there was some added pressure on Hermantown head coach Patrick Andrews 2 years ago when he took over a program that at that point had been to state 8 straight seasons. Chelsea Brown has more.
Every streak has an end.
I think there's definitely some sort of pressure once Coach Plant left, kind of fulfill, his shoes. He left got a lot of tradition behind.
And although for the first time since 2009, Hermantown's season did not end vying for a Class A state title, making it to the tournament was a huge sigh of relief for Patrick Andrews, knowing that he helped carry on the tradition of the Hawks making the state tourney for the 9th straight year, has eased his nerves rounding out his 2nd season as the bench boss.
There's always that pressure of just wanting to do well, but it's been a lot better this year just as far as just taking it and enjoying it.
The team joked that instead of playing intense, they were just simply playing tense, trying to live up to the expectation of being the 2-time defending state champions. But this year, it's all about trusting the process.
What we do works. How we prepare works. I think we have good things in place. It's just a matter of getting better every day and trusting yourselves and trusting that works.
Because when you have a streak like the Hawks, in addition to 13 returners with 5 seniors who played on the 2017 state championship team, you have a group of experienced leaders.
If you go through each one of your lines, you have one of those guys that's been there and done that. To help teach those younger kids is a huge aspect of the team.
We know that sticking to the formula that worked for them is key.
Well, he says seniors lead, juniors follow, sophomores shut up. So, yeah, we just stick to that.
It's one of the many reasons that the Hawks mark their trek to the X on the calendar every March. It's also why tradition remains so important to this perennial powerhouse.
If you grow up here, you always see the older guys. I saw my brother win a state championship. You want to be a part of that.
Because when push comes to shove and nerves try and take control, true leaders focus on simply winning the final face-off.
We can prepare them. We can try to try to put them in a position to succeed the best we can. But at the end of the day, it's their deal. It's their senior year.
For WDIO Sports, I'm Chelsea Brown.
Nice job, Chelsea, and thank you, Dan. And that Hawks feature brought to you by Cleveland Cliffs. And, looking at Pat on video there and talking with him before the game, he and his staff, a very youthful staff. They communicate well with each other, and they each have their own viewpoints. It's fun to visit with them because they each have their own opinions.
I really do enjoy it as well, and just chatting with them. And again, we've talked about this in the past. The thing I love most is how proud they are of, certain individuals, where they've come, guys that they knew were good, they performed. It's so exciting because that's why they do it, right? They care about the kids, and that staff exemplifies that.
Interesting, too, these two coaches, Grant Clapton and Pat Andrews, they'll tell you as it is. There's no sugarcoating, or they don't hide or give you the stock answers. They give you real answers.
I agree with that, and what you see is what you get.
Yeah, without question. All right, we'll be back with more on the Section 7 Single A pregame show brought to you by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. We'll be back. On the Section 7 Single A Championship Game pregame show brought to you by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Well, we've got keys to the game to go through here, and are they similar? Are they different? What's the two coaches? You talked to both, Grant Clapton and Pat Andrews.
Well, it's awesome doing the semifinal games because you get the benefit of watching those and talking to the coaches. And, starting with Greenway, I think, number one, they need to limit their odd man rushes. Hermantown's going to come at you in waves. I thought they got a little careless at times against Denfeld. They need to shore that up. Secondly, they need to take care of the puck. They're going to play two lines a lot. They're going to play 4D. They're going to have guys that are going to be a little gassed out there. They need to control the puck. They need to use their skill, because if they have it, that means Hermantown won't. And I think lastly, and Grant Clapton agreed with me on this, they need to use TV timeouts to their advantage. If they are going to play two lines, they're going to get that extra minute of rest. They need to use that to their advantage so they can roll, two lines, and they'll spot their third line every now and again. But I think they know what they have to do to keep up with this deep Hermantown team, and that is to put their best players on the ice as much as they can.
Okay, Pat Andrews, his team played Greenway back on January 15th, but Greenway was without a couple of very key performers and then lost another one during the course of the game. So how is he looking at this after limiting them to 13 shots the first time around?
Well, I think, the key to that is to play in their zone. So in order to do that, you need to pressure their D. They're going to be playing a lot of hockey. Give them a lot of pressure. I think, secondly, it goes without saying that Hermantown's got as much depth as any Class A team in the state, so they need to use that depth and try and wear Greenway down. And lastly, Pat Andrews, he's kind of taken the cue from Coach Plant, is play our game. And, I think somebody said, what's the Hermantown game? I think they play for each other. They love each other, and they play hard, and they battle. And that's kind of their calling card. They remind me a little of those Cloquet teams in the 80s. That's very much how Hermantown plays now.
Very good. That takes care of the keys to the game. We'll be back with more on the Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza pregame show. It's Section 7 Single A Championship Hockey at WDIO. Back at Amsoil Arena, we will have an introduction of both teams coming up shortly from public address announcer Pat Pacella. The cheerleaders are on the ice, the officials are on the ice, and we are awaiting the teams. It's Greenway, Nashua, Keewatin, and Hermantown in the Section 7 Single A title game. The winner moves on to the XL Energy Center next week in St. Paul for the Class A state tournament. We've got a crowd here that is very similar to what we saw, I think, for the Hermantown game of this last Saturday, Hermantown game and Greenway game as well. Very similar. Yeah. I would imagine maybe a couple thousand by the time we're done.
Still filing in a little bit, but yeah, I agree with you. Probably a couple thousand. See, I feel like we have a few more green shirts in the stands than we did on Saturday, but overall, they got Hermantown's band. I love the band being here, and Greenway's band came down as well, so good stuff.
Yeah. Goaltending. Cole Manahan, he's been there, he's done it, so on and so forth. Logan Wright, he had some play during the course of the season, but he was not the primary goaltender. But Grant went to him with about 6 games left in the season, and they have gone unbeaten since then. In fact, he's reeled off 8 in a row, and 7 of those he gave up 2 goals or less, including a shutout.
He's been solid, and I thought, in that game on Saturday when, Denfeld tried to make a push at times, he made some big saves for him. And as far as, on the other side, Manahan, he was their guy last year. I thought, to be perfectly honest, against Virginia, he looked a little shaky at the start. It might have been nerves. He wasn't handling pucks real clean. And as the game went on, he got sharp and really, Virginia didn't get a lot of shots, but he just seemed to handle things and settle in a lot more. And I kind of feel like he did that last year, too, a little bit. That third period, he kind of shut Greenway down until the last, whatever it was, 0.5 seconds when Greenway tied it off a fluky goal. But if you remember, that was a 3-1 hockey game going into the third, and Hermantown scored 3 straight goals to go ahead and then, anyway, to tie it. So, good stuff.
Interesting talking with those Hermantown coaches relative to Greenway and saying that we take nothing light here. They've got 6 elite league players on that team. The skill level is crazy, they said, and there's a lot of respect for what Greenway can do.
coaches, Hermantown coaches said, you know, at the beginning of the year, Hermantown was ranked 5th in the state. Greenway was ranked ahead of them. And, you know, the kids saw that, and, you know, a lot of people had high expectations for Greenway coming into the year. Rightfully so. They returned a lot of kids, and as we talked about in our last broadcast, you know, you think maybe Hermantown's going to have a down year, but they reloaded again, you know, and they brought up and you know, had some sophomores emerge here late in the year, allowed them to move some guys around and put them in the places that allowed them to be successful, and so it's a good matchup.
Well, if you have Blake Biondi and Sam High and Elliot Peterson, some of those others, I don't know if you can have a down year. And they've met the expectations, and others have stepped up. Okay, we're going to go down to ringside with public address announcer Pat Pacella for the introduction of the two teams.
Elsie Twerberg, Amara Buckowitz-Hartley, Luca Marsh, Samantha Stevenson, Allie Rodriguez, and Mackenzie Walters, cheer advisor Lisa Buckowitz-Hartley. For Greenway.
Working from right to left, there's 1, 2, 3, the fourth person. So second person working from left to right, the second guy
Lexi Zimmer, Emma Sutherland, Iris Jensen, Michaela Stram, Jen McInerney, the cheer advisor. Now, here's your Greenway lineup for the entire group tonight. Junior goal, Logan Wright. Freshman number 2, Ezra Carlson. Sophomore number 3, Derek Davidson. Junior number 4, Mitchell Beckich. Junior number 6, Frank Trebojevic. Senior number 7, Kristen Birdsall. Junior number 8, Ben Trombley. Senior number 10, Cameron Lance. Senior number 11, Aaron Ellick. Junior number 12, Christian Miller. Senior number 13, Dante Larson. Senior number 14, Stephen Ugrich. Sophomore number 15, Ty Donahue. Senior number 16, Logan Seeley. Junior number 17, Michaela Gernander. Senior number 19, Nicola Raila. Senior number 20, Will Jurgensen. Sophomore number 22, Nick Moskovich. Senior number 23, Spencer Monahan. And senior number 30, Tyler Penny. Coach, Greg Clapton, Adam Johnson, Andy Surdich, Steve Arbor, the assistants, Ethan Anderson, and Tom Clare, our student managers. Now for the Hermantown High School Hawks. Sophomore number 4, Jackson Lucia. Sophomore number 6, Aiden Dowd. Senior number 7, Ben Zildjian. Senior number 9, Brady Baker. Sophomore number 11, Aaron Pion. Junior number Senior number 13, Justin Thomas. Senior number 12, senior number 14, Darian Goat. Junior number 16, Drew Sams. Junior number 17, Matt Erickson. Sophomore number 18, Joey Pierce. Senior number 21, Sam High. Senior number 22, Elliot Peterson. Sophomore number 24, Ethan Lund. Junior number 27, Blake Biondi. Sophomore number 28, Cole Incliff. Junior number 32, Jacob Maxstrom. Senior number 33, Cole Manahan. Junior number 37, Zach Carson. Junior number 44, Indio Dowd. Head coach of the Hawks, Patrick Andrews. Assistant coach, Chad Huddle, Joe Muehlbauer, Matt Swanson, Nolan Albertson, Nate Buck. Student managers include Matt Curtis, Hunter Tansky, Alex Weiss, Langley Hayden. Our Hermantown Hawk Band will be giving us the national anthem. Introductions tonight were brought to you by Heritage Window and Door and H&H Lumber. This has been the Papa Murphy's pregame show. We have championship hockey coming up next here at Amsoil Arena on WDIO.
Communities. Celebrate the milestones. Acknowledge the journey. Transition into the next chapter. Be brilliant every step of the way. Ameriprise Financial, giving you the confidence to be brilliant.
A gun control debate at the Minnesota Capitol. Details at 10. We are back at Amsoil Arena. Steve Jazerski, Craig Caracas, and Dan Williamson, and I'm looking forward to this one. I remember last year's game. I love the talent that's on the ice here. We've got some contrasting talent, I think. For instance, a Dante Lawson on one side and a Blake Biondi on the other side.
Yeah, no question about it. Then you look at the defense. You got, Christian Miller committed to St. Cloud State on one side. You got Darian Goats committed to UMB on the other side. And it's just, I just watching the kids as they were going around their goaltenders getting excited. I kind of got the chills. This is for to go to state, man. This is a big deal.
Greenway's opening up with Birdsall between Ryle and Bekic. And the Hawks with the Biondi line, I do believe, yes indeed, and we are underway in the opening period. The Hawks and Biondi giving it ahead on the left into the zone. There's a shot deflected, and that went out, and came back and will get a face-off.
So one of the themes that you always have when you have a higher-seeded team is they get the last change. We talked a little bit to the coaches from Hermantown. And, I said, what is your plan? I mean, you're going to match lines? He said, we want to try and resist the urge to go 2 lines with them. We want to try and use our depth, roll 3 lines as much as we can, but they do want to try and get Goats and High. It was a good wrist shot there.
Oh, Joey Pierce, he can pull the trigger, candy.
They want to get Goats and High out there as much as they can against the group of Lawson's group.
Here's Pierce giving down low to Biondi. Backhand shot right on. Logan right to save. He's got it. He keeps it. We get a face-off.
Boy, what a dangerous line. You get some boys who can shoot. You got Blake Biondi who can do everything. And that's not the guy you want to see coming out of the corner if you're Greenway. And that's Blake Biondi off a nice hard pass there from Pierce. Pierce saw him going to the net. That was a great little play where Biondi had gotten loose from the check of Birdsall. And Blake doesn't miss many of those. Good play, though.
Comes back to the left point. Sam High with the shot blocked right back at him. Second attempt. That was rolled up the stick of the netminder and now back in behind. Played along the near boards. Miller tried to give it ahead. It's forced out to neutral ice. Stepping up with the Hawks. Sending it back into the zone is Darian Goats. Now they'll go after it deep with Drew Sams on the end board being played by the Hawks and Ethan Lund. Lund coming back towards the blue line, feeding the left side with a shot that's put back into behind the net by Jackson Lucia. It's played in the corner. Sams giving down low, trying to jam it from the far corner. Ethan Lund, far side of the net, back to the left point with a shot. That one knocked down to the circle and cleared out of there by Aaron Elich. And then it'll go down the ice and we'll get icing called on Greenway. And the puck has not yet entered the Hawk zone except for that icing.
Yeah, some good play already here from Hermantown coming out. They roll their top 2 lines out, and, they're not much of a drop-off on that last shift from that second line. I thought that group of Lund and, I got to double-check the guys again, but Lund, Baker, and Sams were really good against Virginia. And now Brent Claflin's going to match here. He's going to put his third line out, the Carlson, Donahue, Ugbridge. Well, maybe he's not. They're going to say no.
And Cliff, Dowd, and Pionk. And Nikolai Ryle will take the face-off for Greenway with the Ryleheads, Birdsall, and Bekic. And so already we've seen them double up here.
Right. Well, Aiden Dowd, he had a nice assist in that game on Saturday. He fed Joey Pierce down the slot. And it's kind of fun talking. They like him. They got these are all sophomores. He said we put them with other guys, and once we finally put them together, they just clicked.
Here's Ancliffe from the corner, feeding it back to the left point. Shot wide of the net, back into behind. Comes out the far side, play with the Hawks and Dowd. Back to the right point. From the right point, Peterson, a shot that goes back into behind. He moved to D just a couple of weeks ago. Now in behind the net, Trebojevic. He'll reverse it back to his right where it's played by Cameron Lance. Lance trying to escape to his left. To the corner, Trebojevic takes over. Here's Trebojevic being chased behind the net. He's cut off by Aiden Dowd. Returned around the left side. Now they'll look to try and clear the pass out to center by Bekic. And on the right, here's Ryla. Angle shot. And that's deflected wide. Played back to the left point. Shot from the point. Knocked down. Played ahead. Here come the Hawks and Dowd. Aiden Dowd puts it out to center. Now Miller, Christian Miller back in his own zone, giving and getting it back from Cameron Lance. Lance, he'll send it up the left wing boards. Coming out the bench, moving it ahead, Justin Thomas with the Hawks. They break it in with a shot, fired wide. Over on the far wing with Thomas on it. Back to the right point with a shot to the opposite corner near side. Played out the boards by Goats. Here's Goats down low beneath the circle with a shot. A second jam at it by Pierce. That'll come back along the left wing board. There's a shot to the net right now. A good left pad save made on the shot by Thomas. But the netminder, Logan Wright. Let's go down to Dan Williamson.
Sure.
Hey guys, conversations with both head coaches before the game. They revealed a little bit of strategy. Greg Clapton for Greenway says one of the keys is how they play without the puck. That might determine this game. They also want to play the body and, of course, get shots. For Patrick Andrews, he says, let them worry about us. He also wants to start fast, play fast, take it one period at a time, own pucks, and be physical. Back to you.
Played back into behind the Greenway net. Christian Miller, they've been bottled up here. Sends it up the left side. Lawson coming back to it. Feeds it out to center to Tremblay, and here they come. Tremblay in on the right. Here's Tremblay trying to get behind Sam High. Tremblay to the corner. Gives it to the circle. Lawson, a shot that's blocked at point blank. Clean block by Darian Goats, and feeds it out to center upon taking the hit. He gives it to Pierce. Pierce dropping back along the right side. Now it's sent deep to the corner by the Hawks and Justin Thomas. Puck free back into behind the net. Jernander is on it. Micah Jernander, son of Kenny Jernander, sends it up the right wing to Lawson, who gives it to Tremblay. Now Tremblay will lose it down a poke check to the corner by Goltz. It's in behind the net. It goes around to the far side. Caught up in skates along the board. Sticks are jamming. Comes back outside the zone. And then fired in to the right corner by Lance, and Greenway changing. Long pass deflecting out to center, right to the stick of Biondi. Pucks find him. If he doesn't find the puck, they find him. Ryla along the far wing puts it into the Hawk zone, and Sam High is on it. He'll send it right down the ice. Blocked just at the right by the netminder Logan Wright, and he will keep it.
Well, Logan Wright's been active already. He's made some big saves right there.
All right, and we'll be back to the board. We are scoreless. First period hockey brought to you by Midway Sewer and Pumping Service. This is all we do, and we do it well.
Rapid Grow has chartered and Yanks Bill seeking material handlers and extrusion technicians. Come work in a safe, stable work environment. We offer competitive wages, bonuses, opportunity for advancement, and an impressive benefits package on day one. Apply online at charterednx.com.
Is handcrafted for every lifestyle, making memories since 1882. In store at 365 Canal Park Drive or online at DuluthPack.com.
Herbert & Gerbert's delivers delicious to your door, even late. Duluth, Superior, and Cloquet.
Gartner, providing the Northland expert solutions in commercial heating, cooling, and temperature control systems. Bear in mind, Gartner is a proud sponsor of all Northland athletics.
First period hockey brought to you by Midway Sewer and Pumping Service. This is all we do, and we do it well. On the face-off, Peterson sends one wide to the far side from the corner, and actually not Peterson, but Ethan Lund. It comes around to the near side. Play is in the Greenway end, which it has been for much of the first 4 minutes of this first period.
Yeah, it really has been. You know, you got a team playing it like they've been here before. They've advanced in this situation. And, you know, Greenway has been here before, but they're taking a little while longer to get their legs. But they're starting to come now, it seems like.
Puck comes out to center. Trebojevic will play it for the Raiders, giving to his left to Lance. He fires up the left for Jernander, who deflects it into the zone. It goes back into behind the Hawk net, and Ethan Peterson is on it. Here's Peterson. Sends it ahead along the boards. The Hawks and rather Raiders. Miller took over, lost it, brought into the zone. Far circle shot right on. Logan Wright, the save on Brady Baker's effort. And we'll get a face-off, and they need Logan Wright to really be good here.
Well, and he has been so far. He's been really sharp with his rebounds, and right there was an example of that. And a couple times so far, Greenway's kind of got caught a little bit flat-footed on their blue line. And right there, Brady Baker did a good job moving his feet, taking that puck wide, and got a nice wrist shot on net.
Both teams have their third lines out there. Aaron Pionk winning a draw, going to the corner for it. Puck along the back wall being played by Greenway, and Elich gave it ahead of the wing, fed ahead but not out. Along the boards, a stick battle. It comes into the slot to the near circle. Miller gets to it for the Raiders, tried to give it ahead, knocked down, kept in, played along the wing by Antcliffe. Now he'll give it in the corner. Pionk back into behind the net. And the Raiders and Miller get possession ahead on the left wing. Through the stick of Donahue for the Raiders. From the circle, Miller passed it right into Pionk. Loose beneath the circle. Back into behind around to the near side. And the Raiders get to the puck, and it's backhanded out to neutral by Steven Ugrich.
Good shift there by the third line of Hermantown. Those guys are active. You know, we were talking a little bit before the game. Antcliffe's kind of the energy guy. Pionk and Dowd are kind of your danglers. They balance each other out. But again, all three of those guys sophomores, and they were saying, you know, we pieced one guy here, one guy there, and they just like the way they've clicked, and right there they had a nice shift.
The Andes line is on. He faces it off of the Birdsall. Along the wing, and the Raiders get hold of it. Ryla out to center, being dogged by Biondi. And they'll play it to the far boards. Goetz does. It comes back through Goetz. He'll turn to it on the wall. Darian Goetz headed to UMD. He's a senior. Fast up the near side out to center. Ahead comes Thomas into the zone. Here's Thomas, a shot, and he sends that wide. Now to center ice. Goetz is on it. Here's Belushia, gives it back. Tapped ahead along the wall by Goetz to the Greenway line. Trebojevic back into his zone, gave it to Lance. His pass out, picked off, loose to the slot on the shot. Banged to the corner by Trebojevic. Now Trebojevic will pick the puck up, gives it on the wing for Ryle. Puts it out to center Rice. That one just behind Beckett. You reach back, gets it, throws it in. And Greenway making some changes. They've got two forwards in the offensive zone as the puck is cleared down to the other end. We'll get an icing on Hermantown and an opportunity for Greenway to change.
Well, you mentioned Darian Goetz, right? Well, his dad is married to Tony Jernander.
Oh.
So Micah Jernander, who's playing for Greenway, the cousin. So
all in the family.
Little connection there, yeah.
Puck comes off the boards, being played by the Hawks, and Ethan Peterson going back into behind. Here's Ethan up the right side, puts it out to neutral ice. Broken up and caught the backside of Baker, brought in by the Raiders. Here's Dante with a shot, Dante Lawson, and that one goes on. We'll get a face-off.
Nice little play there. Speaking of Micah Jernander, feathering that off the boards, allowing Lawson to skate into it, but Sam Hyde doing his best to step up and not allowing that shot to even get to net. You know, so far we're seeing a lot of one and outs by Greenway. That's a testament to Hermantown's defensive play. You know, their defensemen are solid back there. They get that puck and move it well.
Jernander on Saturday played on the third line. Ezra Carlson was up on the line with Lawson and Tremblay, but they made that switch here for this evening. Oh, point blank, they score! The Raiders take a 1-0 lead, and that first lead, I think, is so huge for them. And it is Mr. Tremblay. And guess what? He did not play the first time around when they met back in January.
He was sick. You're absolutely right. He and Lance were sick. And right there, what a great little feed by Dante Lawson from behind the net. Tremblay is going to get his, I believe that's his 20th goal of the season. Lawson's going to get at least one assist there. What ended up happening there, Stephen, I don't know if we'll get a replay of that one or not, but you had a couple guys that were puck watching. And you know, you get, when your back's turned like that, watching to where the puck is, you guys can get loose, and it takes too long to recover.
1-0 Raiders. Here's Goetz into the zone for the Hawks. Goetz down low, back into behind, tries to stuff from behind at the corner. Came off the post. And Greenway will send it ahead. Going back into his own zone, Indy O'Dowd for the Hawks. Indy O'Dowd gives it up the right wing to Joey Pierce ahead at center. Thomas giving it to Biondi. Here's Blake through the circle. Angle shot. Save made. Loose puck at the left. The net is not free, and that will give us an instant whistle. And we'll get a face-off. All right. We've got a break in the action. 1-0 Greenway. Midway Sewer and Pumping Service. This is all we do, and we do it well.
I use Greenway Airport when I travel for work. I fly from Hibbing because it saves me time.
The online calculator helps me plan my trip.
I love the easy check-in and fast baggage claims.
I like the free parking in car rentals.
Include Range Regional Airport next time you travel.
It's so easy, even a grown-up can do it.
Community banks provide innovation, convenient access, and modern technology. We are a cornerstone of the community. Find us in Coleraine, La Prairie, and at ColeraneBank.com. The First National Bank of Coleraine, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Got a favorite color? For these young artists, it's red. Painting the canvas with our secret mix of seasons. The tradition continues.
1-0 Greenway as we come back here during period number 1. Midway Sewer and Pumping Service. This is all we do, and we do it well, bringing you period number 1 tonight.
Well, you said it earlier, you know, Greenway getting that first goal is huge. They kind of played a little rope-a-dope early where Hermantown had a lot of the pressure, but, you know, it gives them a little bump in their step after getting that first one.
Logan Wright deflecting that shot to the near boards. Plays in the Greenway zone. Back to the left point to High. Right side. Goetz a shot right on. A hot shot. The glove save from Logan Wright.
What a great forecheck there by Aiden Dowd there. Just used his body to create enough space for him to get the puck from Trebojevic and fed it up high to High. And, you know, high to High. That's a fun one to say. And he slid it over to Goetz and got it to the net. Not a lot of traffic, though. Good job by the Greenway Greenway defense.
Pat Andrews, he's playing his lines, isn't he?
Sure is.
Here's Pionkin behind the net. Works it around the bottom of the near circle. A shot, and that hit the defender. That was Birdsall, the center. Loose to the front, loose to the slot, right to the net. And saved and kept and covered.
Boy, this line for Hermantown's been great. They're going up against the second line from Greenway right now. And territorially, they're all playing them. And Neil, geez, oh boy. Aaron Pionk had two good opportunities there and just good puck moving around. But I like how Wright went and found that second rebound. He had to dive out to get it and made a big play there just to cover it up.
Micah Jernander will face off with the Brady Baker. Micah wins the face-off. Sent around and behind to the near side by Illich. Over to the near boards it comes. Comes back to the left point for the Hawks at high. Shot it into the slot. It goes off of Baker to the far side. Down low on the end board. Knocked off the puck. Was Lund. Greenway will put it out to center ice. That'll come diagonally into the Hawk zone. It's stopped at the left by Monahan for high, around to the right, and he's being dogged. It's played for the far boards, and the shot to the net. That deflected with the stick of Monahan behind it, the left wing and ahead to center. Into the Hawks and Baker. Baker in on the left. Stop. Move to the right. Into the slot. Baker. Good job of checking by Tremblay. Bounces into the wall. It's sent down low. Back into behind. And getting there for Greenway is Illich. He'll set it around the left. Lots of rink whiting for Tremblay. Tremblay out to center. Tremblay sending one in wide to the far side. And then he gets banged to the wall and the hit by Goltz. Now the puck out at center. The Raiders looking to advance. It's blocked. It's loose and neutral on edge. And two sticks come together. And they rule that the puck was played by a high stick. And will bring it back into the Hawk zone for the face-off.
Well, some good physical play there. I like how Greenway had some good back checking there. I believe it was Tremblay that came back late on Brady Baker, who I thought made a real nice play taking that puck to the middle. And Greenway was able to stop that rush, and then as they got the puck, Lawson looking wide right away to Tremblay for that cross-ice pass.
Play in the Hawks end. 1-0 Raiders here in the early going on the Tremblay goal. Ben Tremblay. And behind the net around to the right is Dowd. Gave it to Aiden Dowd. It's set out to neutral ice on the left and deep into the Greenway zone. Terbojevic trying to put it outside the zone off Joey Pierce, but Pierce able to keep it in. Play to the far wing along the boards. And that one slips out through the defenseman. Now to neutral. Peterson will take and send one back into behind the net. It continues on around to the far side. 1-0 Greenway, opening period. Shots on goal, 12-4 in favor of the Hawks. Backhanded ahead by Vekic. And that'll go the distance, and we'll bring it back into the Greenway end for a face-off.
Well, no question, territorially, it's been all Hermantown. I think for grade A scoring chances, I think, Greenway's had about 2. Hermantown's had maybe 3 or 4. So that part of it hasn't been quite as lopsided. But, you keep playing defense in your own zone if you're Greenway, and it's going to tire you out. But, against Hermantown, you almost have to play rope-a-dope a bit.
Now look at this. The Hawks have it there through. Oh, they score, and the Hawks tie it up. Aaron Pionk. I was just going to say the Hawks have their third line on, and the Raiders have their first line on. And Aaron Pionk and that line has been very good here in the first period. They tie this one up.
We started with a face-off win there by Dowd. He got it back to Darian Goetz, who unleashed a hard slap shot. And Pionk's just going to the net there and able to get position to get that puck, and it just looked like he chipped it up over the goaltender right on his backhand. That's Aaron Pionk's third goal of the season. We're going to get a look at the replay here. Watch as the puck comes back to the point, and Goetz did not waste any time, just fired that, and Pionk was there to chip it in.
Tremblay at center, giving it to Jernander to the blue line. He'll send it in deep. That'll ring around. And then fired out to neutral ice by Drew Sams. Miller back into his own end. Christian Miller, he'll flip it up the left side. Ahead to the stick of Lawson. Off the stick of Lawson, brought in by Jernander. Give it to Tremblay, give it to Lawson. Lost it through the skates of Baker. Now high, trying to clear it. Can't. Just inside the blue line. Tremblay will shoot to keep it in. Around to the far side. Here's Lawson. Chip back to the blue line. Miller with a shot that's gloved by Monahan. He'll keep it. And we are tied up at 1-1 here in the first.
So that goal is going to be Pionk from Goetz. I thought Dowd took that face-off, but he may not have. It might have been Pionk who actually took it. But good response here by Greenway. Get that puck down in the Hermantown zone. Get some shots at net.
Birdsall and Biondi. Face-off won by Blake Biondi. Here's Ethan Peterson back into behind the goal. Sends it up the right side for Joey Pierce. Out to center to Biondi. Catches it, brings it in on the left. Beats the defender. Closes, shoots. He scores! Biondi. It's 2-1 Hawks, and that's what he can do. And he makes it look so easy.
Yeah, that's a big-time play by a big-time player right there. And I love how he used his body to shield the defender. And you know, Blake just kind of changed speeds there. You know, I remember playing with Chris Marinucci used to do that so well, where you think he's going slow, but just they make that one quick step and they get around you. You're going to watch the replay. Blake's going to get it, takes it from forehand to backhand, back around, and just outweighted right on the far side. And that's just a great individual effort. I think Elliot Peterson's going to get an assist on that, as well as possibly Thomas.
We saw him score a different kind of goal on Saturday. I remember remarking, he knew he was going to score. And it was almost the same thing there in a different way.
Yeah, that was a pretty play.
Well, the Hawks and Pierce feeding it back to Peterson. A shot to the front. It hits Biondi and then shots at low to the right. It's put out to neutral ice. Picked up, brought in. Britzall. He stood up on the hit by Goetz, and the puck comes to the net. And it's covered at the right by Monahan, and will get a face-off.
Yeah, two physical plays there by both Goetz and Peterson stepping their guys up, but the player Birdsall just kept going forward with that and generated a somewhat of a scoring opportunity.
Dante Lawson on the face-off of the Brendan Baker.
That's Blake Biondi's 34th goal of the year. For those of you keeping track, that's a pretty decent year. I believe he had 30 last year, over 30 last year as well.
Hawks playing in their own end. Here's the pass out to center. Here's Lund. Ethan Lund into the zone. Crossed a bit to his left. Fired back. Save made. Kept by right. Face off at his right.
You know, that's some really nice transition there by Ethan Lund. That puck came up to the defenseman, I think it was Goetz, feathered it right up to him. I mean, he was on the move right away, and that's what you got to do as a forward. Make their defenseman uncomfortable.
Baker and Jernander. Now, fed. It comes off a skate to the near wall, picked up by the Raiders. Tremblay making a pass up the left side off a stick. Lawson couldn't reach to it, and the Hawks sent it deep into the Greenway end. Miller. He'll flip it around in behind up the left wing, caught by the skates of Dante Lawson. Lawson being checked, losing his stick as Baker on the check. He comes up to neutral ice, and Indy O'Dowd will send a deflected shot into the zone. It comes to the near wing. Miller will put it out to center for Greenway. Knocked down by Sam High of the Hawks. High with a shot in from the back wall. In behind Miller. Miller being pursued. Picked up. Flipped out on the right. Tremblay taking that solid pass. Skates it into the zone. Tremblay double teamed. He sandwiched, following up a shot right on by Jernander. And that was bobbled momentarily by Monahan, but he's able to cover and will get a face-off. Let's go to break with a 2-1 hockey game with the Hawks leading Greenway, Midway, Sewer, and Pumping Service. This is all we do, and we do it well. 2-1 hockey game.
2-1 Hermantown. Yeah, they snuck that Biondi goal in there on you.
They stick those videos up there to take that scoreboard away from me in my old memory home. I need the board. Here's Biondi into the zone. A shot. That one off the glove of Logan Wright. Hawks in the offensive zone. Puck comes free to the top of the circle. Skating to it. Firing out to center at the left wing. It's Birdsall, and we're going to bring that back to the other end for a face-off on the icing.
Well, that last scoring opportunity there for Biondi was started by Joey Pierce, who assisted on Biondi's first goal along with Elliot Peterson. But nice job by Biondi taking that to the middle, and shot it in stride. And just got a good piece of that, and Wright just got enough of it to keep it from going in. But that was a nice wrist shot.
Face off one back to Elliot Peterson. Peterson has shot that one heavy off the back wall. Comes around to the near side. Ryla tried to jam it up the boards. Now picked up by Birdsell. He's checked upon making contact with the puck, and then it's sent right back into the Greenway zone after being cleared out by Jackson Lucia. From the corner, Pierce beating it back to Peterson. Peterson a shot. That one wide. Comes up the near wall. Now tapped along the boards. Ryla puts it out to center. Beckett's trying to knock it down. Elliot Peterson taking over for the Hawks, and a long one in. Going to it, Justin Thomas back into behind. Biondi trying to put it to the front. In front is Pierce. Well, that Pierce is kick. He knocked one of the Greenway boys right back into the net, and that was Lance.
I'm not sure why there was a whistle. Did they think that the net was off? A couple guys battling in front, but
penalty.
Oh, Pierce is going to get interference for that push, I think, in front, Steve. Well, Greenway's got some firepower to come at you with their power play. They've definitely got some skill.
12:44, the time of the penalty. It's a cross check.
Yeah, their power play runs about 25%. Here's a replay. Oh, yeah. Gave a little bit too much of a push there. Almost a cross check to Lance. And Pierce only a sophomore. He's a big kid.
Lawson wins the face-off back to the left point to Ryla. Center blue line to Cameron Lance. Far side to Ryla. Tried to fire it across. It deflects into the corner. Picked up Lawson. Back to Tremblay. Now Tremblay, center blue line Lance. Gaining laterally to his left. Giving back to the right to Tremblay. Down low. Tap to the net. That one wide off the stick of Ryla. Lawson has it. Now Vekic giving to Tremblay. Tremblay, Lance, center blue line. Lance a shot picked off in the front. Angle to the far boards as it's fired out by Sam High. That High is a good hockey player.
He's solid, isn't he? I mean, they got, moving Peterson back to that decor, they got some veteran kids back there that just, 3 seniors. That's tough to play against.
Ryla, Lance, Lawson, Tremblay. Here's Tremblay to one knee, spinning, loose to the slot, and then driven by Goetz out of the zone.
Tremblay there almost pulled that off. Puck kind of got caught on his backhand there. And good step up there by the Hermantown team.
Hermantown penalty kill is awesome. 88.2% over the regular season. And we get offside called on the Raiders. 3:12 remaining here in the period. It is 2-1 Hawks leading the Raiders. Shots at 18-6 in favor of Hermantown. And I asked Pat Andrews beforehand, I said, how did you limit Greenway to 13 shots back on the 15th of January? Well, he told me who they were missing and such, but he said, when we're playing well, we don't give up many shots, and it doesn't make any difference who we play.
Well, we've seen, at least full strength, we've seen a lot of one and done so far for for Greenway, right? They get a shot, but they're D clear out and get that puck moving up ice. And
plus, if they've got the puck in their end.
Right.
And that's been the case here in the first period. Now Trebojevic turning, giving up the right side to Birdsall, crossing with Carlson. Here's Birdsall crossing back to the right, leaves it along the boards to Carlson, gives it to the end board to Birdsall. Birdsall being bumped by Goetz. In behind as well is Jernander, far side, Birdsall, power play hockey. Here's Miller a drive and a heavy one off the back wall. Now it's played. Carlson, right point to Trebojevic. Half wall to Carlson. Down the boards. Carlson giving Jernander a shot. Blocked. That one blocked by Baker. Carlson giving right point to Trebojevic. Trebojevic giving to Carlson to Trebojevic. Right point. Center blue line to Miller. Using the far wall on the pass for Birdsall. Penalty is up. Hawks have killed the penalty off. They lead 2-1. Left point shot to the net right on. Almost looked as if it surprised Manahan a little bit. He makes the save and he keeps it.
Might have been a little screen. I'm not quite sure, but Miller has a pretty heavy shot coming from the point, but good penalty kill there by Hermantown. But I like that offensive presence that second group on the power play for Greenway has. I can't imagine those guys get a ton of PP time, at least the forwards, and allows the top line to rest a bit.
Here's Lance. It got through traffic to the front. And a rebound that is sent wide. And the Hawks to center. Here they come to the Biondi in on the left, giving to the slot, and the pass goes right behind Thomas. It's played from the end board to the corner for Biondi, from Pierce ahead to Pierce. On the wall, crossing to the slot. Lance defending, getting Trebojevic, can't clear up the left. It's played from the corner. Hawks get possession with the Joey Pierce. Here's Pierce. He'll put it back into behind, skating to it. Biondi back in the left point along the wall, where it's sent ahead by Jackson Lucia. Put down the backboard and trying to clear. Lance can't, kept in. Trebojevic does, and that'll go all the way down right to the net. And it's covered by Manahan. And on that long clearing pass, we get a face out of the Hawk zone.
Well, he's going to look at Dante Lawson, who gave a little poke on the stick of Manahan just to let him know he was there. And you see Blake Biondi coming up off ice with Justin Thomas and Joey Pierce. You called a shot by Greenway, and before you can even finish saying, the save was made, they were already coming up ice. Their transition is so impressive, Hermantown's.
Now from the circle, skating ahead is Baker. Here's Baker, pass at center, reflected to the blue line, picked off, sent back the other way by Elich. That's Aaron Elich, but the Hawks have possession now. They'll take and dump one to the corner. Then when Hop skips, bounces, goes back into behind the Greenway net. Under a minute remaining in the period. 2-1 Hawks leading Greenway. In the corner, Lund, he's checked on the back wall. Sams fights through a check, trying to come to the front at the corner. He had Logan Wright looking left as he was coming to the right. And Logan Wright somehow, he must have smelled him coming, and he took and covered that corner.
Really smart play there by Drew Sams coming out of that corner. And yeah, you're right. He almost caught him leading a little bit. But Ethan Lund working hard and kind of freed that puck up. And guys' bodies were falling all over. And the only one standing out of the 4 guys that were behind the net was Sams.
Extrasensory perception, is that?
I like the way that Lucia came up, started that play though, head up, looking to make a play. It was very nice, heady defenseman.
Here's Trombley, blocker save, Manahan, far side, hammering away at it. Elich goes back into behind. Now it's beneath the circle to the far boards. Head on the wall. Pierce's pass out to center. Thomas will bring it in for the Hawks. Here's Thomas giving to Pierce. Shot to the net right on save. A rebound, and that one high back into behind. Now beneath the extended goal line. They try to tap it to the front with Pierce. Here's Pierce. He'll give it. There's a shot. Goetz. That'll go wide. On the right, Sam High. 11 seconds remaining of the period. Shot to the net right on. Rebound shot right on. Loose to the front. It comes to the near circle. Over to the near boards. 3.5 seconds left. Miller will feed it to the wall. Back to the left point. High. And luckily for Greenway, time ran out. 2-1 Hawks after 1 over Greenway.
You're absolutely right. And if Greenway doesn't start getting a guy high in their own zone, in the offensive zone, and start stopping these 3-on-2s that Hermantown's getting it the other way, it could be a long night for him here in that second period. I'm sure Coach Clapton's going to talk to him about it, but great effort by Hermantown. Their transition. I mean, it's only a 2-1 hockey game, but man, they were flying.
Well, Greenway got the first goal out of the game, but the Hawks have answered with 2 of their own. And we're going to go down to ringside now. Dan has got Raiders head coach Grant Clapton.
Guys, here with Coach Clapton, first period. I know you said before the game you guys were looking for shots. Ben was able to make one happen.
Yeah.
Just your thoughts on that early lead for Greenway?
Yeah, I mean, that was a nice little pass that Ben got from Dante, and we were able to bury it. And, all in all, I think the chances are going to be there. I'm a little bit disappointed in, a little of the softness in our D zone a little bit. We got to do a lot better job of finding their players down low and eliminating those. We had a nice period by our goaltender, and it's come out a little bit better in the second period.
They managed to have quite a few shots on him. I think 19 here at the moment. Only down 1, though.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we got the part that we needed from our goalie in that period, and we certainly have to eliminate that, and I think we'll be all right.
Your message to the team here in the locker room is to get ready for the second period?
Yeah, our message is to come out and win the second.
Thanks, Coach.
Right.
Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
That was head coach Grant Clapton. Guys, back to you.
Well, Grant kept it pretty basic there. We'll be back with our first intermission, first period hockey tonight. Brought to you by Midway Sewer and Pumping Service. This is all we do, and we do it well. 2-1 Hawks leading the Raiders after 1 Section 7 Single A Championship hockey right here at WDIO.
Hi, Tom B. and Denise M. here from Doherty's Sleep Source Mattress Gallery.
When was the last time you had a good night's sleep? How long has it been since you woke up without aches and pains?
If you're tired of the tossing and turning at night, wake up and try one of our new Beauty Rest mattresses. We have the Beauty Rest back hair and hybrid mattresses in stock.
With many Beauty Rest mattresses to choose from, we can find the perfect comfort level you need to sleep well. Family owned Doherty Sleep Source of Mattress Gallery, 1112 Cloquet Avenue, Cloquet.
Our compassion and your peace of mind. Our expertise and your hard work. Our skill and your whole new world. Our technology and your future. When you choose St. Luke's, our strength.
Back at Amsoil Arena, 2-1, the Hawks leading the Raiders after 1 period of play. We're going to take a look at first period statistics, but one thing that won't show up, I think, in statistics outwardly is the depth Hermantown has. They're rolling their lines out, and Pat doesn't seem to care who he matches with Greenway.
Yeah, and especially you get third line scoring as you did from Aaron Pionk. And
that was with, I think, the Lawson line on.
Yeah, that's huge. That's a big goal.
Well, let's take a look. Shots on goal, 11 for Greenway, 22 for the Hawks. Power plays, just one in the period. That belonged to Greenway. 0-1 in the power play. Hermantown with the penalty kill. They are perfect throughout the playoffs now. The goals, you see Ben Tremblay from Lawson and Jernander, and they are dangerous. Aaron Pionk, a sophomore from Darien Goats, and Blake Biondi, tallying from Pierce and Peterson, one of the swingers and also a defenseman. And that's where we are. Manahan, 10 saves on 11 shots, 20 on 22 for Logan Wright, who played very well in the first period. Second period, I think, is really, really, really key, as it was on Saturday.
Well, it's key for Greenway, right? I think that they're going to have to make some adjustments. You heard Grant Clapton in his interview talk about they need to play better D in their own zone. Where I think it needs to start even is from the top of the circles in the offensive zone. Maybe keep a guy higher on that third guy and prevent those odd man rushes. Well, and namely when Biondi's line's out there, because man, they get that puck and they're going.
And he referred to his team being soft in front of their own net.
Yeah, well, I think you look at the first goal by Pionk. A guy slips a guy off a face-off, and then he gets open in front, and I don't know that anybody hit, or got a piece of Aaron Pionk. I mean, he was all alone there, and just great play getting open, but that's the type of thing that you can't allow if you're going to win a hockey game.
Okay, we've got more coming up. 2-1. Hawks leading over Greenway after one period. Section 7 Single A Championship Hockey right here on WDIO.
This WDIO News Update is brought to you by Campbell's Lumber.
I'm Darren Danielson with this WDIO News Update. Michael Cohen did not hold back in his public testimony before Congress today about his former boss, President Donald Trump. The president's former personal attorney says he's done lying to protect the president. An Iron Range native, Zach Lampa, helped set a new Guinness World Record for longest hockey puck pass. Lampa shot the puck to Tom Chorsky on Lake of the Isles in November. It traveled 904 feet and 3 inches, a new world record. Great job, guys. Back to high school hockey after this break.
On the wing. Will this finish it? Henderson knocks out by Rowe. Gets it back again. Mike is there. It's in. Mike Conley finishes it. That's
in. Minnesota Power, shining a light on every goal.
At the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame Museum, it is our mission to provide the U.S. with a home to American hockey that reflects the honor, dignity, and pride of the legends it represents. Come visit us in Evelyn, Minnesota, where we are filthy rich in hockey history.
The First National Bank of Coleraine has a long history of support for our local athletes. It is our honor to help bring this broadcast to you at home. The First National Bank of Coleraine, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
I broke my femur and dislocated my knee in my freshman year of high school. I went to Orthopedic Associates. Dr. Momont went in and repaired my knee and femur. With the job he did and the rehab after, I was able to play 3 sports the next 3 years of high school. I was even able to play 2 years in college on a scholarship. Thank you, Dr. Momont.
For all your insurance needs, contact Dave Gunderson Insurance Agency.
Duluth Pack is handcrafted for every lifestyle, making memories since 1882. In store at 365 Canal Park Drive or online at DuluthPack.com.
Atchison Tire is celebrating serving the greater Grand Rapids area for 100 years. A history built on providing expert customer services and providing one of the largest inventories of tires in northern Minnesota. Atchison Tire Grand Rapids, where there's always a tire sale.
Family, friends, and hockey. Duluth Hockey Company. Looking for better water? Call Arrowhead Water today.
Coverage of the Minnesota State High School League Boys Sectional Hockey Championships on WDIO is brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler. Itasca Community College, the best place to start.
Welcome back to Amsoil Arena, where it's Section 7 Single A Championship Hockey. The Raiders of Greenway and the Hawks of Hermantown, who will return shortly. Greenway is on the ice. You remarked earlier on the Greenway uniforms, very basic, but so classy.
I love them. I feel like I'm watching their 1987 team all over again. You know, it's just classic. You know, they got the Rangers, Breezers, and then just the solid green and white. Nice look. And
they look a lot like 1967, too.
Yeah, sure.
No, I like them, too. To me, very classy, as you said. Here come the Hawks, and they had the lead after one period, 2-1. They certainly had the better of it in the first period, and it's up to Greenway to take some of that back now. And we watched 4 games, broadcasted 4 games on Saturday, live streamed here on WDIO and WDIO Live Plus. And the second period was key in each and every game. First period's were pretty competitive. Second period, the winners blew it open.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, again, I think it's fixable for Greenway, but it's not going to be easy. I mean, the transition that Hermantown has, and again, they're only down 1 goal, but I say it's fixable because if they keep playing as loose as they did in that first period, they're going to give up some chances, and I think they need to play in Hermantown's zone a little bit more and try and make those Hermantown defensemen a little more uncomfortable. They really haven't been able to put a ton of pressure on the defensemen of Hermantown, but I think some of that goes to their ability to get the puck and move it quickly.
Penalties have not been a factor here this evening. Neither were they this past weekend on Saturday for those 4 semifinal games.
Yeah, really, we did see a lot. And just the one penalty in that last period on Pierce. And Greenway had some good zone time and a few shots, but nothing that they could find the back of the net with.
Bertzall and Biondi on the face-off at center, and we are underway in the second period. Long shot into the Greenway zone. Cameron Lance gets to it, hammers at it along the near boards. It's sent back by Bekic, and Lance will start over again to the right of the pass. Now Ryla tries to clear it up the wing, comes off the backside down at neutral of Bertzall. Mini pile up there. Puck comes free, clear across the ice. Ahead on the pass for Bekic. They'll battle it along the boards at neutral. And sending it in deep is Joey Pierce for the Hawks. Back to get it, Trebojevic turns and fires around to the left. Now Bekic. Soft pedals a pass. Brought into the zone by Bertzall. Leaving for Tremblay. Drives it wide, just missed the net on the near side. Here's Pierce. Shot and fires wide. It's got a heavy shot. Now Trebojevic and Greenway. Wrestled away by Pierce over on the far boards. Getting it, Pierce. Kicked it from a skate, drops it back to the left point. High, a shot right on in front, and right at the doorstep was Justin Thomas.
I think Thomas tipped it, and I think it actually hit the post.
Thomas battling in the far corner. Lance won that battle. It comes out to neutral ice off the referee. Now shot right back in and blocked by the stick of goaltender Logan Wright. Out to center, pass knocked down by Drew Sams of Hermantown. Here's Sams giving way to Goetz. Goetz putting it out to center ice, and they'll go the distance. There will be no icing. Trebojevic going to get it. Trebojevic checking in the zone. Now trying to clear, kept in. Baker has it knocked off a stick out to neutral by Lance, and Ethan Peterson will shoot it in for the Hawks. Here's Brendan Baker, puts it to the front, looking to change direction, unable to do so was Lund. It'll go back to the behind the Greenway net. Ethan Lund will cut it out. Lance is there to check him. Around to the far side it goes, to the corner, reversed. It comes free to the circle, skated ahead, giving Tremblay to Lawson. Here's Dante in on the left to Tremblay in the slot, getting a stick on the puck and deflecting Jackson Lucia. Played to the far boards by Ethan Lund. Put it through the skates of Lucia, back into behind the net. Lucia coming to the right along the boards beneath the hash marks. It's played to the back wall. Now banging his man to the boards is Ethan Peterson. It's loose to the circle. That was Lawson who got checked. Out at center. In on the left and outside on the right is Sams as Lund tried to bring it in.
Well, a little bit better pressure there for Greenway, in the Hermantown end, but you mentioned, Elliot Pearson able to get that puck and move it up ice, and Lucia, just kind of bending but not breaking. But, that's again, if Greenway to get some momentum in this game, they got to play down in that Hermantown end, which isn't easy.
Birdsall and Bianca on the faceoff. Into the Greenway zone. Break wide pass intercepted by the stick of Dowd, Aiden Dowd. In deep in the Greenway end, Christian Miller gets there quickly, moves it around the end board to the far side. Now the Raiders trying to pass out to neutral at the center circle. Puck comes free, backhanded along the boards by Pion, cut off along the wall by Elich. Brought into the zone by Goetz. Here's Goetz losing his footing. Puck goes to the backboard, loose to the corner. Goetz an angle shot. That one hits the side of the net. It's loose at the corner, and it'll be covered and kept. And we get a knockdown in behind Miller, taking offense.
Are they going to let that go? That was a little aggressive there. It looks like they're not going to call anything, but...
All right, there is a break in the action. Hearing at the Wellness Center. Healthy hearing for life. We'll be back with more.
Here, in this place, a game like nowhere else, where team is everything. Together, we push, we strive, and sometimes we fall. But here, adversity is an opportunity to make teamwork count when it matters most. Because together, we own this ice. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
Get ready for your summer dream to come true in a new Sweetwater pontoon and Yamaha outboard from Grand Rapids Marine. Stop in and check out the all-new, redesigned Sweetwater Premium Edition pontoons in our huge showroom. Rest assured knowing you're in good hands with our friendly and knowledgeable service department, along with the reliability of Yamaha outboards and a great selection of parts and accessories. Shop all of our inventory online at GrandRapidsMarine.com or come in for a visit. We're right off of Highway 2 West in Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids Marine, quality and service from our family to yours.
Face out of the Greenway end. 24-12, the shots in Hermantown's favor. 2-1, they lead. Shots 2-1, the score 2-1.
Another good shift by that Pion Dowd. Oh, they got it. And Cliff line. That line's been so good tonight. They're going.
Exchange face-off, men. Face-off controlled by the Hawks. Center blue line, Sam High. Fires wide. Biondi. He got knocked down. Played by Lawson. Rink wides out to Tremblay. Played it behind the defender. He's closing. Gives it, shoots. Oh, Dante Lawson missed the net. And he was standing at the end of the dock, and he missed the water on that one. Put to the front, and where is it? It's over on the far wall, kept in on the left. Now pass to the near circle, shooting out the pass and sending it wide. Thomas, Raiders and Tremblay. Tremblay squeezed out by Thomas on the far wall. Puck comes deep into the Hermantown zone. Manahan giving way to the Raiders. A shot to the net right now. Right skate save made. Here's Lance. Lance's shot, and that one hit traffic and goes to the far boards. Miller shooting to keep it in. It'll go back into behind the goal around to the near side. Jernander giving to Ryla, trying to pass to the front, and that was blocked at point blank by Pierce. Back into behind the net, Lawson. Here's Lawson. Lawson being checked by Biondi. Now joining in Jernander along with Goetz. Free to the near side. High giving up the right wing for Pierce. Pierce trying to get a pass across. It deflects. It bounces. It's played by Biondi. Tap to the left. Pierce into the zone. Outside to the right is Thomas. And we get a face-off at the Greenway line. Almost tied.
Oh, my goodness. What a great individual effort by Ben Trombley to get that puck to the net. Trombley went from forehand to backhand with one hand. Goes between the legs. There you look at it right there to High. And Trombley sends it over. And I don't know if Pierce maybe got a stick on it, but either way, it kind of jammed Lawson. And so he was.
It's played in the corner. Pierce. Boy, Pierce for a stopper. He's big and strong. Played out the boards beyond. He fires across the front and trying to get a shot out. Thomas loose to the front. Rescued and carried out of there. Here's Trombley. Trombley, who got it from Ryla. Biondi and Trombley, they go to the corner. Now in the corner, coming away with it, turning out the wall is Lawson. Here's Lawson into the circle. Lawson is shot, blocked right back at him. It goes through the circle to the far side. Biondi has it. He'll send it rink wide out the near boards, out at neutral to the Greenway line. Trebojevic for the Raiders will send it down the left wing and look at icing call.
Two little observations there. That was the first time we've seen Hermantown go back to their top line as quickly as they did there. I think they shortened it just for a shift there. But Greenway has moved Ryla with Tremblay and Birdsall and Vekic. So a little subtle adjustments there, just try to get us guys going a little bit.
Birdsall winning a faceoff, gaining the puck and giving it to Vekic, giving it back, getting it Vekic into the zone, passed it to the net. A little bit too much of a lead perhaps for Birdsall. Played at the side of the net. Here's Birdsall back in the behind, trying to step on the corner as he was heading to the back of the net. And he jammed at it twice. And Manahan able to save it, keep it, and gain a faceoff.
Yeah, quick hands there. Nice little play there that was Birdsall coming off the wall. Now he's going to put Clapton's putting Ryla back out here with this line. Jernander's going to come off.
Faceoff will go to the back wall, being played by Jackson Lucia. Lucia giving a head for Baker, trying to move it out of the zone. It comes back to Lucia. Jackson Lucia has played well here this evening. He's been real steady.
I like the way he goes. Head up, just moving that puck. Not a big guy, but makes plays.
Drew Sam's turning, shooting to keep it in. It goes in behind. Lund kind of moving along the back wall. Christian Miller checking him and working him over.
Or do you want to draw back to Darian Goetz? So he's doing a really nice job of getting the puck there. He won another one.
Puck comes out to neutral, back into the hot zone. Lucia is on it. He's paired with Peterson on the fence. Here's Lucia drawing the checking Vekic, sends it around and behind to the far side to Peterson. He'll send a pass up the right side, and here they come. Put into the zone. And then trying to check it back the other way was Greenway Zelich. It's played along the near side. Anthem being checked along the wall. Getting it and trying to put it to the front was Pionk. And it comes to the corner. Pionk will pick it up. Here's Aaron. Puts it right through the slot to the far side. Now the Raiders looking to clear. Cannot. Kept in. Good job by Ancliffe. And that line has really been dynamite.
A second time that shift for Ancliffe kept the puck alive by just not giving up. Great job.
Have you seen a Pionk who has not played well in the playoffs?
Really?
Now the Raiders back to the behind, fired out the glass out to center. That one will go all the way down, and we'll bring it back into the Raiders' end for a face-off. We're seeing a lot of face-offs down here, a lot of more icings here, more and more.
Yeah, and again, Hermantown's got the depth, man, and they're going to try and wear Greenway down, and there's going to be periods of the game where Greenway's going to look tired and try to have to muster up some energy. You mentioned, the Pionks, and Neil Pionk's playing tonight for the Rangers. They're battling Tampa Bay.
Now the Hawks keep it in for the right side of the shot, and that's knocked down on the slot by Lance. Tremblay giving, near side Lawson. He'll send one bouncing towards the net, wide to Manahan's left. They'll go to the end board, back into behind the goal. Lawson on the loose puck. Here's Dante, and he had standing in front of the net. Jernander, puck comes out to neutral ice. Lance will get it from Trebojevic and send it in. That one to the back of the goal, deflects to the far corner. Now high along the boards, looking to move it ahead, but the Raiders have it. Here's Tremblay coming over. He shoots, he scores! And blocked. Tremblay, boy, did he show some great poise.
He had that puck on a string. So not the first time we've seen him dangle like that. And right there, a couple guys right in front of him, but he was still able to pull that puck from his forehand to his backhand and cut all the way across to second goal of the night. This is a great individual effort is what that was there. And he had a guy hooking him that was Lund and just didn't get enough of him. And, I thought he was going to feed it over to Lawson, but instead he did a good job of just holding it. You mentioned it. Good poise. Big goal for Greenway to tie this hockey game.
We are even at 2. And we've got a championship game going on. Here's Lance in his own end, taking the pass and ahead to Lawson on the left and out to center to Micah Jernander. Jernander has it checked off a stick by Goetz out to neutral. Here comes Biondi. Blake into the zone, a shot saved, getting a piece of that. Logan to right, comes over to the near boards. Thomas a shot, that blocked in front as it hits traffic. Now picked up by the Hawks. Jernander puts it out to neutral, then gets stood up and knocked down by Darian Goetz. Pierce into the zone, trying to sidestep Lawson. He can't do that. Here's Lawson in on the left. Here's Lawson along the near wing. He wanted to pass. Goetz did a great job just staying right with him and manning up.
He did, and Justin Thomas, great back-checking play there, too.
In on the right, Thomas giving Biondi, closing shot, a hot shot right on, digging away Biondi as it's kept by Logan Wright, and we will get a face-off. There's a break in the action. It's a 2-2 hockey game. Second period hockey brought to you by Hearing Wellness Center. Healthy hearing for life.
I knew a couple of buddies that had bought vehicles here and had a really good experience, so I thought I'll give it a run. I'm going long distances, literally at times from coast to coast. So I have to know that the truck is going to be there. I have it serviced here, so I know it's maintained right by the dealer, and I'm confident when I leave with my boat that I'm not going to have any problems. But I felt I was treated fair, and there was no pressure.
Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, where you're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Gentlemen, as your City Auto Glass marketing consultant, I gotta tell you, your ads are a little silly. I mean, come on, silent movies?
City Auto Glass, your safety, our business.
Second period hockey from Amsoil Arena. It's a 2-2 game. Championship hockey, Section 7, single A. Peterson a shot. That one goes off the boot of Raider defenseman Christian Miller, has played along the near boards. Now back to the corner. It's reversed. It's back into behind the net. On it and firing it around the near side. Aaron Elich banged along the boards and trying to pass out was Mike Mitchell-Bekich as it comes to the Hawk line. Baker giving to the retreating Ethan Peterson. Now Peterson with the Bekich, forechecking him. Here's Bekich with Peterson. Bekich working him. Peterson then runs into Birdsell along the boards. Ryla getting it into the zone. Stripped to the puck. Out to neutral is Lund. It's checked from his stick. Following up on it. Shooting it ahead is Lucia, who then falls over the stick of Mitchell-Bekich. Miller can't clear. Kept in for the right. Puck to the front. That one deflects wide to the far side. Ethan Lund checked for the puck, and the Raiders bring it out to center. Here come the Raiders into the zone. Into the zone is Birdsall, leaving it in the slot, unable to weave through traffic and get to it was Mitchell-Bekich. It's sent up the right wing back into the Greenway zone, and one of the very few icing calls on Hermantown.
Yeah, a little gas there, kind of a long shift. Greenway is more effective this period again because they're doing a much better job defensively, and I know we talked about it in the intermission, but they're not giving up so many odd man rushes. Now here comes Hermantown's big line here with Biondi, Pearson, Thomas. They're going to try and generate something.
Lawson to face off with the Biondi. Face off on it, Trombley. Tried to go to the net. Didn't have quite the right angle, and a good job defensively by Sam High. Trombley checking back to the behind on High. Loose to the far side. Jernander put it in behind a Lawson. Tried to put it to the front. Cleared by Goetz to the wall. Jernander feeding right point. Probably trying to hold that blue line. Mishandled, but kept it in. Shot back into behind the goal. Lawson has it. Here's Lawson. Goetz going after him. Lawson turning into the circle. A shot right down. A hot shot. And that one handled by Manahan. He'll keep it to keep this one tied at 2.
Well, kind of a good close play there at the point. Trebojevic was able to keep that in on a bouncing puck. He doesn't keep that in. Hermantown goes the other way out of 3-on-1. Instead, it goes behind the net to Lawson, who is down deep waiting for it and is able to generate a pretty good scoring chance off the wall.
Ryle and Biondi on that face-off. Out the center. And now Hermantown from its own zone, ahead at neutral. Thomas into the zone. Here's Thomas widening out of the wing, dropping for Biondi. Kept wide by Tremblay. Put back into behind the net by Biondi as he maintains possession into the slot crossing. Dumping right point. Shot deep to the corner by Goetz. He goes in behind around to the far side. Biondi feeding it back to the left point for Sam High. Here's High giving to the near side and coming right down the backside. And he had some open net but couldn't control that pass. Was Goetz. Here's the Raiders back the other way. Lawson giving. Tremblay out. Can't catch the pass. It goes through to the far boards. And they had something going there. The Hawks out to center. Pierce leading Biondi. Here's Biondi to the corner. They gotten ahead of him. Lance got it. Miller will try and feed it up the near side. Blocked along the boards. Crossing into the slot was Thomas. And the puck goes back to the behind. Jamming got a far side. Luke puck in the front. And sprawling out in front was Thomas. And trying to get a stick on it.
He did. And I think Wright made a pad save there. Great play all around.
Now High from his own zone. Shoots it ahead to the Greenway line where it's intercepted by Lance. His pass up the right side to Jernander. Micah into the zone. Hammers a long one. And that's gloved and kept by Manahan. We'll get a face-off on the Hawks end. Tied at 2. 2:08 remaining in the period.
Get a look at Sam High coming off the ice there, but a good hard shot there by Jernander. But a little bit earlier, what turned out to be a 2-on-1 with Lawson and Tremblay, I think everybody in the building thought Lawson was going to fire it. He dipped that shoulder, faked the pass, and slid it over to Tremblay, and just couldn't connect with him. But fun little play there.
Down to neutral. Off the stick of Aiden Dowd. Aiden Dowd being pushed by Miller. Pass through the front over to the near boards. Now loose along the boards, and Christian Miller will lift it out to center, knocked down by Lucia's glove. Jackson Lucia. He's checked by Vekic, puck free to Jernander, widens out, and on the right, fires a shot. It drops behind Manahan, and then out of there. Dropped it, bounced, and the Hawks will turn it back the other way. Here's Ethan Peterson in on the left. Ethan Peterson shoulder down on the backhand, slid it across the front, and unable to play was Aiden Dowd. Deep to the corner goes the puck on the end board. Miller, he fires it around, and that one will clear all the way down the ice, and we'll get icing called on Greenway. 1:20 left in the second, tied at 2.
Well, nice little play that led, a chance on one end, and then Peterson takes an end-to-end rush the other way, and some good up and down action here with about 1:20. Here's a look at that save by Manahan. He lost track of it, and Birdsall did a good job of going hard to the net.
Hawks have the Biondi line on with 1:18 to go in the period. Ryla, Lawson, and whoever they got matched out there, certainly Tremblay. Now the Hawks in their own end. Pass ahead for Biondi. Brought in. Thomas with a shot. That goes off of Trebojevic. It goes over to the far boards. It's loose to the circle. And it's lifted and cleared out of the zone by Greenway. We'll get another face-off with about 46 seconds remaining in the period.
Well, you got a few guys with sticks on their shin pads for Greenway right now. They're a little gassed here. They need to try and find a way to get out of here with this 46 seconds. Hermantown is going to come out here, and they're going to pull all the stops out. They put, looks like they've got Elliot Peterson along with Brady Baker up at forward, and it's Biondi, a different look for them. They're going to try and open this thing up here and get another goal here before the period's out.
Elliot Peterson had played up front for most of the season until just a couple of weeks ago when they moved him back to defense. Here's Baker, and that puck squirts away through the circle to the end board, being checked by Lance. Given ahead along the wing, Jernander can't control, kept in, nice effort, put to the corner by High, sent up the boards by Lance, and then tipped out to neutral ice and back into the Hawk zone by Vekic, and we'll bring it back into the Greenway end for a face-off.
Well, unlike college or pro hockey, you can change after an icing here, and Grant Clapton's going to take advantage of that. He's going to get his top crew out there, and it looks like Pat Andrews is going to keep Peterson, Baker, and Biondi out there with High and Goetz on the point. Big face-off here. We talked about face-offs earlier.
Face-off is one to the Hawks. Back to the right point it comes. Baker taking that face-off, and it comes out to neutral ice, and Goetz will send a high lobber into the zone. Goes over to the far wall. 9 seconds remaining of the period. Off the boards. Here's Baker. Baker putting it to the front. There's a shot. That one is knocked. The net is knocked free. The shot was sent high and wide. And we've got pushing and shoving going, but that is short-lived. And we'll get a face-off with the 4 seconds remaining of the period.
Well, you got to look at Elliot Peterson, who was battling in front, but I think that was Blake Biondi on the left side that had an opportunity to bury that rebound and just put it high. But Baker took that thing to the net, tried to slide it across to Peterson, who was battling in front. Ryla had some really good coverage on him, and they're going to say the puck's going to come out because Hermantown knocked the net off. But Blake Biondi was really close to burying that. That may not have counted because the whistle may have blown. But either way, I love the way Baker took that puck to the net.
Biondi and Ryla. Face off Baker, yeah, he put it right through him. And then fires the shot to the net right now. A rebound as the horn sounds, and that is deflected wide from the front. And oh my goodness, talk about that draw.
I think Ryla was so concerned about winning it that he forgot about the player, and Blake Biondi slipped him clean and went, got through him, got that puck from his backhand to his forehand, fired just kind of an innocent shot at net, really. And Baker almost banged home the rebound. 2 big saves at the end there by Wright.
I heard Pat Andrews tell Dan before the game, when you need me, just come and grab me. Don't even ask for it, just grab me. And I think that's what he did because he's got Pat with him down right now at ringside. Dan?
That's indeed the case. We're here with Hermantown head coach Patrick Andrews. 2-2 after 2 periods here. And you guys had the lead. They were able to tie things up, and I imagine the panic button hasn't been pushed.
Well, the panic button hasn't been pushed, but we got to get our butts moving, I'll tell you that. Like, they came out, they wanted that period more, and that's disappointing on our end, and we have to be better than that.
Anything in particular stand out about what they were able to do here in the second period as opposed to the first?
Yeah, they did a nice job like they did in the first period of protecting the house. In the first period, we were willing to go there. We got pucks to the net. This period, we started out that way, and then we got cute. We stopped getting pucks to the net. And we stopped doing the little things of working hard, coming back to the puck, too. So, you know, it's an energy thing, and they out-energied us, so we got to find it in the third.
1 period to go. What do you say to the guys here in the locker room?
They got to find it. It's on them, you know. We've been down this road before. They're competitors. They've competed all year long, and I would expect that they're going to come out and play their butts off in the third. So.
Coach, I appreciate your time. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Dan.
Hermantown head coach Patrick Andrews. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, sir. Nice job. And this one is 2-2 at the end of 2. We've got a championship game as we look forward to the third period. And when we come back tonight, we're going to have highlights, we're going to have statistics, and we're going to get ourselves ready for that third period. Okay? Second period hockey tonight brought to you by Hearing Wellness Center. Healthy hearing for life. We'll be back with our second intermission, Section 7A Championship Hockey on WDIO.
What makes Hardy's breakfast taste so great? We only use the best ingredients made by the best hands. I wonder what else those hands can do. Ooh, new coffee. Try our new coffee. Hardy's because it tastes better.
For all travelers, the Timberlake Lodge in Grand Rapids is the perfect place to stay.
We're back at Amsoil Arena between the second and third periods, and the Hermantown Hawks and Greenway Raiders have tied at 2 after the first 34 minutes of play. And that second period a bit more even and relative to the first period when the Hawks had dominance for a good part of that period.
Yeah, absolutely. Greenway really shored things up defensively. Hermantown still had their chances, believe me. But Greenway did a much better job, and they generated some high-end scoring chances. Here's one right here where it's a great little individual effort by Trombley. Gets it, slides it over, and Lawson just kind of got jammed. I think Darian Goetz had a little something to do with it. There you see a big hit to start a play by Drew Sams, and he just throws it at the net. I think that was Ethan Lund who batted that out of the air just wide. But a great little play there by Sams just to get that puck to the net. And then here he is. There's a goal right here by Trombley, and boy, he was toe dragging like nobody's business right there. Watch, and even when Goetz got a piece of that, he was still able to keep it with him. Little puck luck there, but that's what happens when you got, you know, solid hands like that, and just made a great play. And here we're going to look at the end of the period where Biondi walked Ryla off the faceoff. Throws kind of an innocent shot at net, and Baker doing what he's supposed to do, going hard to the net. Almost got a rebound there, but Wright making a big save, and Wright was perfect that period. I mean, you know, he made some good saves, and a little bit of luck on some plays where we saw some pucks go high and wide, but on the other end, you know, Manahan had to make a few saves, and Greenway generated some real good scoring chances.
Greenway and Logan Wright over the past 7 games have not given up more than 2 goals in any one game. They've got 4 one-goal games, a shutout, and a couple of 2-goal games. So
one of them's going to give up 3 tonight.
Yeah, that's right. You're right about that. And Hearing Wellness Center helping us out here during the second intermission. We'll be back with more right here, Section 7A, Championship Hockey in WDIO.
GMC Cadillac, where you're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
At North Shore Bank. National Hockey Championships on WDIO is brought to you by Essentia Health. Proud to be the official orthopedics and sports medicine team for more than 250 teams across the Northland. Duluth Pack, handcrafted since 1882.
2-2 hockey game at the end of 2 periods of play. Before I forget, tonight's viewing of this hockey game around the world, throughout the USA, Canada, Germany, India, and I think you told me it's pronounced Qatar?
Yeah, Qatar in the Middle East, I believe, is how you say that. Yeah, it must be military, but that's pretty awesome. Hello to all those viewers that are all over the place. Is the food in India as good over there or better than it is here? I'd be curious about that. Anyway.
It is a 2-2 game at the end of 2, and we do have second period statistics. A little bit more even than in that first period of play.
Yeah, actually, Hermantown was outshot that period, which I don't think probably happens to them very often. Manahan had 9 saves and Logan Wright had 8. And both teams with some great chances, no penalties. That's one thing I wanted to comment on. The referees really are allowing these kids to play in a couple of head-scratcher non-calls, quite honestly. But they're letting them go, and, not quite sure who that benefits,
I remember talking to Grant last year before the game because their penalty minutes were high and saying, is that a concern? He said, yes, absolutely. No talk about that here this year.
Yeah.
Growing up a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, it could be. Getting a little mature. And, but yeah, so it's just been a fun game that, Greenway, honestly, even though they were only down by a goal, I felt really played themselves into that period.
Okay, Ben Tremblay, the lone goal unassisted, 2-2 hockey game, and second intermission brought to you by Hearing Wellness Center, healthy hearing for life. We'll be back with more in Section 7A Championship Hockey on WDIO.
Big spring bonus savings are back now for a limited time.
Hurry Championships on WDIO is brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler. Itasca Community College, the best place to start.
We're back at Amsoil Arena getting ready here for third period of hockey. Well, the Hawks are looking for 10 consecutive trips to the state tournament, so that means they've always found a way. Sometimes it's been a rout, sometimes they've had to find a way, but they have done that. And Greenway's trying to find a way to upset that and turn this thing around and gain their first trip in quite some time. And so what's going to happen? I think Logan Wright plays a key role, certainly, in goal for Greenway if they're going to win this third period. What else?
Well, I think that, if you're Hermantown, you got to be careful you don't over forecheck a little bit. I think they gave up a couple odd man rushes and they were fortunate not to get burned on them. A couple of 2-on-1s. They don't give up many 3-on-2s. Their forwards stayed pretty high, but there were a couple just fluky plays where the Greenway almost took advantage. And if you're Greenway, it's kind of the same thing, Steve. You got to take care of your own end, and that starts in the offensive zone, believe it or not. That play between the top of the circles and the blue lines, and obviously Mike Sturridge got through to my head here, but you got to take care of that area and keep a guy high, because if you don't, the other team's gonna come back at you, and you're gonna give up some 3-on-2s, which are gonna lead to some good scoring chances. So it's gonna come down to taking care of your house. Goalies, as you said, are both gonna have to be good. And the one thing Hermantown got away from a little bit in that period was playing that third line, or they were kind of going 1-2, 1-3, 1-2. That third line for them has been great. I think we're going to see them for a few shifts here in this period.
Pat Andrews was not happy after that second period. We'll see if his team employs his mood. Players in the Raiders zone, but not for long. Poked ahead out to neutral by Vekic, but he got banged along the wall. The Hawks in their own zone. High ahead for Ethan Lund, and that'll go the distance. We'll get an icing.
Nice step up right there by Derry Goetz. I like his game. He just keeps it simple. He's not a flashy guy. He's a, puck mover from the perspective that he gets the puck and he looks for somebody to give it to. He's not going to try and horse it up on his own too often. And he just kind of sees the ice pretty well in front of him, keeps it simple. I like that in a defenseman.
He's one that definitely does not look as big as he's going to be. Got some filling out to do.
I think you're right.
Out at center, gathered off the feet into the zone. Baker shot, fired it wide.
Wow, he might have actually got a pad on that, Steve. I'll tell you what, Baker's got some speed, doesn't he?
Uh-huh. Play into the Greenway zone, back into behind the net. Trebojevic being checked by Lund. Poked to the front, broken up very nicely. And out they come with the Birdsall. Birdsall in on the right. His pass blocked with a stick of high. Off that block. Vekic takes a shot. That's deflected wide. Now Lund gathers it. Here's Lund up the right wing. Ethan Lund turning, knocked down by Miller. It's into the circle, down low, save made, rebound to the near circle, and skating away, Jernander. Here's Micah on the right, into the zone. Jernander, a shot and a blocker save. Greenway and Jernander in the corner on the end board is Lawson. Here's Lawson. He draws the checker. and is poked free into the circle. Tremblay, a blind backhand right on, and the save made by Manahan.
Well, you saw Lawson on the wall. What he was trying to do there is he was trying to allow the Hermantown player to check him. He really was, so he could feel the pressure and spin out of it. But what he didn't anticipate was having a second defender down there, which I believe was Biondi. As it was, it still came loose out to Tremblay, and they had a good little chance there.
Larson and Tremblay on the drop. Puck to the back wall. On that backboard. Down, getting up. Tremblay. Man, is he nifty. Hard to avoid a hit, though, like that. Biondi, or rather, who was it? Peterson, who knocked him off the puck.
Yeah.
Here's Biondi. Here's Biondi on the left, trying to go through two defenders now. And they're able to hold him up. The puck into the corner. Pierce battling. Miller there. Miller tying up Pierce. That allows the pass to be made by Elich out to center to Lawson. Lawson on the left, kept wide by Peterson, gave to Tremblay. Tremblay's got to follow it to the corner, sends it back to the left point, lands a shot, fired wide. Here's Trebojevic trying to save it, keeps it in, off balance, puck into the corner. Lawson giving bottom of the circle to Tremblay, who skated to, goes back to the behind, squeezes through the check of the defenseman. Being downed, it's played, make that Lucia over on the far side. They played at the hash marks, come back to the left point to Lance. Now Lance maneuvering, takes a shot. Trebojevic in deep to the right, and he'll fire it through the edge of the goal mouth over to the far boards to Tremblay, and this line's been on for some time. Back to the behind. Birdsall tries to put it to the front. It's blocked to the right by Manahan, and he's going to keep it, and we will get a face-off.
Well, that's probably the most sustained pressure we've seen from Greenway all night. I mean, there was a good 30-40 seconds of Hermantown having to play defense there, and you're going to look at the guy who was able to corral that last rebound of Manahan, but I like how Birdsall took that puck to the net and tried to go forehand backhand there, but Manahan stood tall, made a good save.
High making the pass, and it comes out to neutral off of Aiden Dowd. Trebojevic, weak pass intercepted, carrying in Aiden, and Ancliffe for the shot, and that one is blocked. It's trying to cover, and finally able to do so is Logan Wright.
Look at what you got there. You got Ancliffe taking that puck hard to the net. You got Pionk right in front of the net. You got Dowd in there. This line has been terrific for Hermantown. Here's a look at the replay here. You're going to see Ancliffe. Look at him just go. The C's kind of parted. It started with a little bit of a turnover at the blue line by, I think it slipped off of Trebojevic's stick. But just good effort there of taking that puck to the net.
He just didn't get a good one on that pass and gave it up on that play into the zone. Cole Ancliffe. This is Aiden. Out to center, Birdsall fires up the left wing, and now chasing it down is Vekic, and we'll get icing called on the Raiders. Break of the action. We are tied at 2 here in the third. Midway Sewer and Pumping Service. This is all we do, and we do it well. Face off at the goaltender, Logan Wright's right. Birdsall is out there to draw it off against Brendan Baker.
Interesting. So they switched it up here a little bit. They got Sams, Dowd, and Baker.
Face off comes to the near board. Sam's feeding it back to Lucia. Lucia giving it the half wall to Sams. Sams puts it beneath the circle and behind, sending it around as Elich. Now on the far wing, Vekic making a pass that deflects, comes down near blue line. Oh, weak pass, loose in the slot, closing shot right on, and Manahan able to cover. Great chance for Birdsall.
Well, we've seen it both ends now. We saw a puck slip off a defender's stick from Greenway, leading to a goal-scoring chance for Ancliffe. And right there, we see one slip off the stick. I believe that was Lucia, and it went to Birdsall. And we're going to get a look at our collision of the game.
Collision of the game brought to you by Mackey Body and Glass. Okay, we'll do it a little bit later. We got some game left.
We don't want to miss the action here. I like it.
We may see a good bang before then, too. Now out at center to the blue line and back the other way. Here's Golds giving, and beyond, he stick tied up nicely by Tremblay. There's the pass long up the left into the zone. Here's Lawson trying to slip behind the defender. Forced back of the net. Loose to the far side. And picked up by Joey Pierce. Pierce. Nice pass across on the left. Sam High into the zone. Passing to the net. Beyond each other. Oh, there is Logan Wright.
Big save. Nice little 1-2 play between High and Biondi. Love how Biondi went to the net there.
Christian Miller. Sent it up the left wing boards to Lawson. He's checked, the puck comes free, and that'll create an outside. Okay, now we will go to the Collision of the game brought to you by Mackey Body and Glass. Collision.
Well, I like this collision of the game because it led to a scoring opportunity. I believe it's Drew Sams that's going to stand the Greenway player up at the blue line, and he's going to get the puck and fire it at the net, and I guess we didn't work it out. We'll get it next time.
Play in the Raiders zone. Lance up the left wing boards. That one in front of Beckich, kept in by Indio Dowd. Fired up the left. Dowd, long reach, keeping it in. High slot, maneuvering in the slot. A shot right on. Brother Aiden with the shot right on. Aiden Dowd.
Indio to Aiden. And you look at Aiden Dowd trying to corral his loose stick there, but it was kind of, I think he was trying to go short side shelf there on right, and it almost fooled Wright a little bit. He didn't quite get all of what he wanted out of it, and Wright does a good job of getting that with his blocker and hanging on to it.
Aaron Pionk on the faceoff along with the Birdsall. Play to the near wall, back along the boards. Ryla puts it out to center ice. Taking over Darian Goetz for Hermantown. Goetz one hands it ahead. And then he gets knocked down. Was it Goetz? That was 44. Yeah. Indio Dowd, I saw the 4.
Yeah.
Through the circle to the far boards. Getting it, putting it back into behind the net. Was Ancliffe. Taken by Aiden Dowd. He'll feed it to brother Indio. Into the circle, picked off. Now Lance sends it up the left wing. He wanted to hit Vekic. It was just behind Indio Dowd. That one goes all the way back into behind the Hermantown net. Getting on it, Ryla. Here's Ryla. Feeding it back to the right point to Miller. Miller a shot. That one is high from the glass to the far side. Now bouncing puck picked up by the Hawks. Here is Aaron Pionk, and the Pionk will take and send one in. It's rolling back into behind the net, knocked down by Wright for his defenseman Miller. Up the right side, and Jernander gives it up. Baker brings it in, and the Hawks are offside.
Boy, that was close. I didn't think that was offside, to be perfectly honest with you. But one of the things that Greenway's done a really nice job of is spreading the ice out. They're getting the puck in their zone, and they're looking for the guy rink wide. And what that does is it doesn't allow the defense to really step up and close their gap quite as early as they want to, because they have to recover to get wide. Right there, it was a good pickup play, though, by Baker, and I thought he was actually going on onside, but doesn't matter what I think.
Biondi and Jernander standoff of the faceoff. Tremblay bringing it in on the left. That's Darian Goetz who kind of stands him up a bit. It's played over on the far boards. Skating to it, Pierce, taken from a stick by Lawson. Here's Lawson, tried to play it through Goetz. Goetz took the puck away. It's played in the corner. Goetz is on it. Backhands it behind it. Comes around to the near wing. And hustling over Christian Miller to keep it in. Down along the wall. Pass up the boards. Knocked down with the glove hand of Jernander. Now skating back in behind, actually to the side of the net. Reversing back to his left. Giving it ahead was high. It's pushed down the ice. We'll get an icing call on Thomas and the Hawks.
Well, third time's a charm. The Mackey Body and collision of the game.
Let's see. We got that much. There we go.
Yeah, it was Drew Sams makes the hit, gets the puck, and he actually ended up throwing that puck to the net. Ethan Lund got a chance for a rebound off that he knocked out of the air.
And that brought to you by Mackey Body and Glass. Now to center ice, puck back into the Greenway end, up the right wing to Lawson. Lawson along the boards, Lawson into the zone. Lawson arranging to his left. Lawson, high slot shot. Riley got a stick on it, maybe even Logan Wright as well. It deflects off the glass back into behind up over the top of the net.
Was that a stick in it? I thought maybe it hit Manahan in the head, but
he's not shaking it.
No. Nice little play there by Lawson to pull up, take that, he kind of does the old Maverick from Top Gun, which half of our viewers, if they're under the age of 35, have no idea what I'm talking about. But where Lawson will come hard down the wing, pull up, take it to the middle, and that whole defense kind of sags in. That allows him to take an extra 2 or 3 strides. He loves to take that puck to the middle.
Saturday, and now today, it's you, not me, showing his age. Out to center. Aiden Dowd into the zone, giving to the net, and that one directed back into behind, played around to the far side by Biondi. Trying to feed it back to the right point. Lawson can't gather it from behind as he pucked up behind Goetz, and he had gone past Goetz. Now Sam High back in his own zone. Here's Sam with a pass up the middle. Brought in by Ancliffe. Ancliffe trying to give it to Biondi. Put it to the front. Broken up by Jernander. Loose to the near wall. Tremblay gets it. Lead pass out to neutral. Intercepted High. Puts it in. Getting onside. Nope, not getting onside is Aiden Dowd.
So I'm not sure if Blake Biondi, we're going to go to a break here. We'll catch up on that.
All right, we'll be back. We'll be back with more third period hockey. Midway Sewer and Pumping Service. This is all we do, and yes, we do it well.
Rapid.
Midway Sewer and Pumping Service. This is all we do, and we do it well. Third period hockey, 2-2 tie. Section 7 single A championship game. Ryla backing off into his end from that face-off up to center. Tipped ahead by Vekic into the Hawk zone. Peterson is on it. And he loses his edge in the corner. Puck free to the circle. Picked up a shot. That one off the chest. Loose to the front. Oh, my goodness. It climbed and went wide to the near side down on the end board. They try to put it to the front. That's Vekic. Vekic up front along with Nikolai Ryla. Puck comes out to neutral. Miller shoots it right back in.
Boy, Ryla's played with a lot of energy this period so far. Been impressed with his forecheck.
Peterson in behind the net. He does a complete 360 and turning away from Vekic. Now Peterson putting it out to center ice. Sent across to the near side by Elich. Aaron Elich. And the Hawks will break it out. Ahead to Lund. Lost it to the blue line. And Elich, he falls. Sams has it. They've got him outnumbered in front. Off the skate of Lund to the back wall. And now Tremblay coming up with a puck. Here's Tremblay's got Vekic with him, but I think Vekic is gassed. Here's Tremblay in on the right. Here's Tremblay down deep, corner, back of the net, around to the far side, reverse the puck to the front. It's loose at the corner, loose at the side of the net, and we do get a whistle, and we will get a face-off.
Well, crazy. You mentioned it. Vekic was gassed. He stayed out there, though, but Tremblay took that puck around the wall, and boy, he's been playing with some good speed, and he holds on to that puck, and he actually threw it blindly in the slot, which on the surface didn't seem like a good play because you're thinking it's just going to break Hermantown out. But as it was, it kind of trickled into Manahan, who wasn't able to handle it clearly and allowed Greenway to play in the Hermantown zone a little longer.
Shots are interesting at 35-27. Now high slot Thomas. Backhand blocked by Trebojevic. Lawson had it, lost it. Puts it ahead at center. Janander turning to gather it in. Here's Janander widening out on the left. Throws it towards the net. Picked off by Goetz. He'll fire it off the boards. Lance on the far side. Kept it in, and then it's muscled out of there by Pierce. Sent to the near boards at the blue line. And then shot in by Tremblay after Hyatt put it out to neutral. Here's Goetz. He'll return the puck from near side, far side, back to the near side. And up the near wing and out at center. Into the Greenway zone along the near boards. Lance got a stick on it. Following up on it. Here's Biondi. Shot right on. Save is made. Neat little tap of the goalie stick by Biondi after the save made by Logan Wright.
Well, Blake Biondi getting another scoring opportunity. He's had several tonight.
And we've got Dan down at ringside.
You guys, we're seeing a number of future college hockey players on both sides here. On the Greenway side, juniors Ben Tremblay and Christian Miller are both St. Cloud State commits. And of course, Tremblay has a couple of goals. Their head coach, Grant Clapton, a former Huskies player himself, by the way, St. Cloud State, the #1 team in the country right now. Back to you.
Ben Tremblay showing his value. He did not play with these two teams met on the 15th of January.
Yeah, he really is. Lance too. Came from Lance, yeah.
You were saying Christian Miller was hurt earlier.
He got banged up in that game. Didn't finish it, yeah.
I want to talk to you about him in just a moment when we get a chance. Christian Miller, son of former Bulldog Chris Miller, who I remember well during my days there. That goes down the ice, and we'll get icing called on the Raiders. Christian Miller, he's going to St. Cloud State, as Dan just reported. What is it about him? He's not flashy.
No, he plays a little bit like his dad. He's a big guy who can move the puck, shoots the puck well, keeps it relatively simple. Again, you talk about guys filling out. He looks like he's going to fill out that frame and be a pretty big kid. He committed early. He and Tremblay both. I feel like they were freshmen when they committed.
Wow. Yeah, he just makes right moves, right plays.
Yep. Another face-off win there by Brady Baker. They've been dominating the face-off circle.
Now Baker, high slot, feeding it back. Oh, Fanning into O'Dowd. Now he'll just take and throw it inboard on it. In behind the net, trying to put it through the goal mouth. It came up right up the slot and then cleared out of there by Ryla. Ethan Lunt from behind the net. Worked over on the far boards, kept in. I smell something here. Left point shot right on. Loose puck in front. And Logan Wright will find it with his glove to cover and keep it.
Good job by Wright to cover the rebound. But what I really liked before that was the low wrist shot by Elliot Peterson. Dow did a good job holding that puck in, slid it over to Peterson, and he doesn't try and unleash a slap shot, waist high that nobody can tip. Shoots it low, gets a rebound, and you said trouble brewing. Couple chances, couple whacks at it. Hey, look at this, just a nice little wrist shot, gets it to the net. Ethan Lund right in front, couple slaps at it, a little bit of banging in front. No call, and nor should there have been.
Biondi and Janander, they've had some pretty good duels here on faceoffs. And Biondi wins that clean. Back to the right point to Goetz. Goetz puts it into the slot. Loose puck gathered out of there by Trbojevic. He'll go rink wide. Wanted to hit Dante, stepping up and stealing that pass as Goetz with a long shot in right on a blocker. Save popped up in the air, comes down near side into the corner. Angle shot. That one goes right through the edge of the goal mouth to the far side. Out at center, Goetz giving to the near boards. Now Thomas will put it into the slot area, and Christian Miller will find it. He'll clear it up the middle. Dante Lawson got it sleeping just outside the blue line.
Yeah, he's trying to feed him. And again, I talked about that wide pass. Right, that time, Lawson tried to stretch the ice vertically instead of horizontally. So he was trying to get that puck up near the blue line, going towards the net a little bit more.
Lawson and Sam High talking to each other, kind of laughing and smiling.
See if Biondi can win another draw here.
2-2 game in the third, 6:12 remaining. Set around the boards. Far side Lawson. Here's Lawson. Pass out to the skates of Jernander. Plays it from his skates into the zone. Sends a shot that's deflected to the back wall. Tipped around in behind your side up the wall. Manahan giving a head out to center by Thomas. Beyondi's pass to the blue line for Pierce. Broken up. Turned back the other way. Jernander into the zone to the backhand. Trying to put it in the front. High intercepts down low. It's passed back to the behind. Lawson trying to put it into the slot for Tremblay. He's upended. Hawks bringing it back. In on the left. Here's Pierce. Dropping, driving high, right out. Oh, man, and Pierce had open net with the goalie down.
I think Christian Miller got a stick on Pierce to not allow him to get that shot off. Wow.
Here's Tremblay up the left wing. Here's Tremblay into the zone. Here's Tremblay. Did he try to toe drag? He forgot something there.
He tried to put it between his legs, and Elliot Peterson said, I'm not having that. He just took the body and made a solid play.
Lance Trbojevic. Here's Trbojevic sending it in deep. It'll go in behind. Stopped by Manahan. Coming back to it. Played by Ryala. Ryala still looks fresh. Trbojevic keeps it in. Puts it deep to the corner. Round to the far side. Ryala on that puck. Here's Ryala. Throws it across to the front and already peeling away. And unable to take advantage of Birdsall. From center back into the Hawk zone. 2-2 game in the third. Down to 4:50. Out to center. Puck free to the near boards. And that one is chopped back the other way to the Hawk zone. Now their D will play it. Peterson will get a pass from Lucia. Out to center. Elliot Peterson giving it ahead into the zone. Poke free. And Cliff tried to give it to Aiden Dowd. Greenway intercepting. Out to neutral on a pass to Ryala from Birdsall. Here's Ryala into the zone. Plays it behind Lucia, but Lucia still had some body. And the goaltender was able to poke check the puck from the corner up along the boards. Now at the hash marks. Loose along the wall. Puck comes free back to the end board. Jackson Lucia. And he's being pursued and checked by Birdsall. Over on the far boards. Picked up. And Pionk. Aaron will put it out to center for Aiden Dowd. He'll widen out to the near boards. Miller checks in. Puck comes free. Trying to fire it around was Lance. He fanned out it. Picked up off the end board. Coming around near side. Near circle. And coming back towards the blue line. Giving it to the boards to Lucia with a shot that just kind of rolls up to the net. And it's gloved off the ice and kept by Logan Wright. There's a break in the action. And it's a 2-2 hockey game. Midway Sewer and Pumping Service. This is
Hockey Championships on WDIO is brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler. Itasca Community College, the best place to start.
Midway Sewer and Pumping Service. This is all we do, and we do it well. Third period of hockey. This one is tied at 2, and we truly have a championship game.
Yeah, this has been outstanding, and you can just kind of feel the tension building in here right now. We're getting down. We're under 4 minutes left in the hockey game, and, we're at the 3:50 mark, and Laying it all out there. You know, one point to point out is that they had their third lineout, Hermantown did just recently, so they're still rolling.
Left point with a shot taken by Hyde. Dribbles through the slot to the far corner. Biondi is on it. Here's Biondi giving it on the end board for Thomas. Thomas with Jernander stick checking. Play down the wall, left down the boards at the hash marks. Jernander, third man in. He'll take and send it around the end board near side. And then passing out to center to Dante Lawson. One-on-one with the Goats. Lawson wide, gets behind Goats. Puck gets away, loose. And Jernander not able to get there in time to follow up. Now the puck out at center. Sent across by Pierce. Miller for Greenway, giving ahead. Lawson wanted to stick it into the zone, and Goats is able to get there and kind of block him out on that. Back the other way. Engelshot taken by Biondi. Goes in behind the net. Gets his own rebound. Picks it up off the near boards. Now he's checked by Lance, allowing Jernander to get the puck and fire it around for Lawson. And that skates by him or skips by him. And Goats gets and gives. High sending it up on the left at the blue line. Tremblay will play for the Raiders. Here's Tremblay. Ben Tremblay lost it to Pierce. Pierce makes a shot, then takes the shot. And that goes back of the goal. On the far side, into the corner, on the boards, trying to move it back to the blue line. They do. Kept in by Lucia. Lucia will take and shoot it behind the goal. It's loose to the near side. We're down to 2:30 here in the third, and a 2-2 game. And a pass into the slot, and Lance getting in the way of Biondi on that pass, intended for Biondi.
I tell you what, that last shift, Darian Goats was so good, holding that puck in the zone and closing those gaps, just not letting the Greenway get the puck up ice.
Oh, there's a pass across and intercepted by Tremblay. Sends it ahead of the boards. Out to neutral, then comes Birdsall, has it. Can't get around High, who caught him partially with his hip. On the backboard, Goats, they'll take and fire it around the wall. And can they keep it in? They cannot. A little bit of indecisiveness from Miller.
Yeah, you know, he kind of hesitated, as you said, and then made a stride to go get that puck. And if Baker chips that by him, he's off to the races with Ethan Lund. And that's one of those danged if you do, danged if you don't, right? He was able to get a stick on it and deflect it out of play.
Birdsall on the Baker. Puck is in the Hermantown zone. Lucia has it, gives it ahead to Baker. Here's Baker, he brings it in. Baker gets behind Miller, and he put the shot to the corner. The save made by Logan to right. Here's a rink-wide pass, gathered in by Vekic from the wall. Here's Vekic in on the left wing. Vekic down the boards, being checked by Baker. Stops on the boards, puts it deep to the corner. Peterson getting there for the Hawks. In behind around to the near side to Jackson Lucia. Hit him the left wing to Ethan Lund. Out to center of the pass to Sams, trying to give it to Baker. Puck is free. Baker went right by it. Pass on the left to Birdsall. And Greenway wanting to change. Birdsall into the zone. Here's Birdsall stood up. Puck is free. Bottom of the circle to the end board. Birdsall gets it. Feeds it back along the wall. A shot from the left point. And that one goes wide of the mark. It's being played along the near boards. And the Hawks will put the puck out to center. We're down to 1:12 in the third period in a 2-2 game. Lance wanted to feed the puck. Trapped in the zone offside. Was riled on. The Hawks come back the other way. Here's Biondi. In through the circle. Forced wide. Jaborovich, nice job. Loose along the wall. Lawson had it. Lost it. Loose. Biondi gets it. Gives it down low. They try to pass to the front. And Lance is there to break it up with an intercept. Sent it to the boards. Up the left wing is Lawson. Under a minute remaining. He's checked and knocked out the puck by Pierce. And they'll fire it the right side. Into the zone is Thomas. Got Biondi going to the net. And the puck comes through the slot. And Lance will clear it up the near wing. Out to center. Now the loose puck comes back into the Greenway zone. We're down to 30 seconds in the third in a 2-2 game. There's a pass rink wide intended for Lawson. Back into the Hawks end. 25 seconds remaining. And Sam High will get on it. Greenway is changing. Pass on the left. It's loose in the near circle. Goltz will take and chip it off the glass. Back to the Greenway line. Miller giving to his left. Fed ahead. And into the zone.
There's some tired kids out there right now.
Hawks will clear their own zone. Out to the feet of Miller. There's Miller, and the horn sounds, and that ends regulation play. We are tied at 2 in the Section 7 Single A Championship game. We'll be back, and we're going to go to overtime. Third period hockey brought to you by Midway Sewer and Pumping Service. This is all we do, and we do it well. We are back at Amsoil Arena. It is Section 7 Single A Championship hockey. And we are tied at 2. We are headed for overtime. And this is the kind of game now, it's up for grabs. It's anyone's game. Next goal wins.
Next goal wins. You know, you can feel that tension building. And I didn't realize how fast that period was going until I looked at the clock and saw there was 3 minutes and 50 seconds left at our last break. And some chances for both teams, some great defensive plays. Been pretty exciting, but boy, I tell you, there were some really, really kids that were gassed out there.
Well, you and I talked earlier, actually, during the timeout, just saying that Hermantown, to you as well, or to you and me as well, they appeared to change what they were doing for the first period in terms of the way they were rolling their lines and such, and maybe got away from what I thought really made them effective in the first period. And we talked to Pat beforehand, as we did with Grant, and Pat said he wanted to roll. He
wanted to resist that urge.
He said last year he went 1-2-1-2. He kind of got caught up with that with Greenway last year, and he said he didn't want to do that this year.
He did kind of come back to it in the third period, however. He came back to that third line a little bit. So, it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing here in the overtime. But, a couple of guys to watch where you got your stars. You got your Biondi, you got your Lawson, you got your Trombley, you got your Pierce. But you got some of the secondary stars, right? A kid like Brady Baker, who's been around the net all night. I look for him to maybe create something. Maybe not score, maybe set up one of his line mates. And the same thing with Ryla for Greenway. He's been really active, really busy. And you wonder, if one of those guys will step up. The drama, man, here it's here. One penalty the whole game.
Amazing, really.
Yeah.
And we saw similar over the weekend in those 4 games. Not many penalties.
No, there was physicality on both sides, some good hard hitting. And, but yeah, here we go.
Oh, boy. Overtime hockey, Section 7 Single-A Championship. Let's see. They will, of course, open with the Biondi, Thomas, it appears, Ryla, Trombley, and Mr. Lawson.
Yeah, so they bumped Ryla up to this line again. They did that a few times earlier in the game as well. Mix and match a little bit.
High goes on defense on the one side, and Miller and Elich on the other. Here we go. Hawks control the puck as they bring it in along the near boards. Pierce, check, puck free to the corner. Set ahead by Lawson along the near wall, getting at Ryla. Here's Ryla, has been really good tonight, but High will come up with that puck sent the puck ahead. Biondi looking to the net as he goes to the corner, sends it around. It's loose on the far side, pops up in the air, comes down, and Trombley will carry. Here's Trombley with a pass up the left wing, skating to it and catching it into the zone. Ryla giving to Lawson. Here's Lawson, a shot. Oh, man, he just missed. Trombley getting it back to the point. Elich tried to put it to the front. Picked off by sticking out to center. They come sent ahead on the left for Pierce. He's got Lance turned around, and there'll be no icing. They'll go to the back wall. Let the goaltender Logan Wright's right. Played in the corner, picked up by Lance, fires it around, kept into the right point, goes with a shot, and that's picked off of the stick of Elich, comes to the near board, sent across to the far side, long shift here, closing shot, good save, Logan Wright.
Man, well, on one hand, Cole Manahan makes a great blocker save on Lawson. He tried to go short side shell, and on a guy that I threw out there as one of my secondary picks to bury it, Brady Baker does another great job of bringing that puck to the net. And Wright caught it, framed it, showed it to him, and kept this game at 2-2.
Bert Soljander and Vekic on the face-off of their own end against Baker, Sams, and Ethan Lund. Here's Lund giving it to Sams and had his stick grabbed as he took the shot. Came up with nothing. Jernander into the zone. Jernander a shot, and it goes off Peterson back into behind the net. Skating to it is Vekic, Mitchell Vekic. Now the loose puck picked up by Jernander. Jernander back into behind. Jernander puts it to the front. That one deflected. Picked up with the Hawks. They break it out 3-on-3. On the left, here's Baker. Here's Baker, the slotted shot out the backboard. And getting to it, Sams fires from an angle. Back into behind. Lund. Here's Lund to the corner. Ethan Lund feeding it back to the right point to Peterson. Now Peterson's shot deflecting to the back wall. Near corner. Baker battling. Referee getting to the midst of it. Pass back to the right point with a shot to the circle, blocked by Lance. Lance trying to pass out, his stick tied up, puts it out to center now. And Birdsall getting and giving to Vekic. Here's Vekic giving to Jernander. Back checking Biondi, and out they come 4-on-3. Into the zone, Biondi right side, puts it to the middle, loose to the circle, picked up by Lund, passing to the front, almost overreacting to the right was Logan right, but he was able to maintain and played the puck at his left. Cleared the center, shot back in. Both teams changing. Here's Trebojevic. Trebojevic pass up and center, almost picked out. Bikic gets, gives. Here's Lawson. Now Lawson in the circle, trying to get behind Goltz, who keeps him wide. They go back to the behind. He checks on Lawson. Joining in is Biondi. Puck up the near wing, kept in for the left point by Miller. Miller with a shot just wide. Back into behind the goal. Two players tripped up. Now on the near wing and out to center, and here they come. And on the right is Antcliffe. Antcliffe putting it to the slot area. Wanted to get it there. Broken up by Greenway. Back the other way. Ahead for Lawson. Here's Lawson. Lawson, I don't think he knew he had his man on the right for a while there. Maybe he did. He just held on. Miller from the backboard. Near corner reversing it in behind to Lawson. Now Lawson trying to put it to the slot. Getting it. Tremblay with a shot that deflects. He goes off the glass. And they'll play it in behind over to the far wing. Tremblay on the puck. Tremblay passing in behind the net to Lawson. Lawson wanting to put it to the front for Tremblay. Tremblay getting now into the circle. Backhand shot. Save made. Loose puck. Oh, what a save as the pad is kicked out. It's kept at the right post and blocking that attempt. Couldn't get the puck in the air over the pad. On the near boards. Out to neutral. While it gets, I think he wanted to give. And Elich went one way. The puck went the other. Out to center to Miller. Here's Miller. Miller lead pass along the boards. Elich didn't go. And they get it, they pass it into the zone, and calling is Lund. And we come back the other way, and a pass at center intercepted by Sams. Now Sams into the zone. Here's Sams trying to pass to the front to Lund, and he's able to get a shot to the corner that's blocked by Wright. He'll keep it, he'll get a face-off.
It's fun or what? I tell you what. Some great chances for Greenway down on Manahan. He was able to get his right pad down on Dante Lawson at least one time. Made a great save and some good work. I think he might have stopped it on Tremblay. And then the other way comes Hermantown. And Ethan Lund was it who just got that last chance and Wright able to close the door. Another face-off win for Hermantown.
Back to the left point with a shot that's blocked at point blank by Ternander. Picked up by Trebojevic, off of Trebojevic, and brought into the zone. Now shot taken by Burks, all wide over to the far side. Lund gets it. Head Manning out to center. They come. Here's Sams widening out on the right. Here's Sams shooting back, and that one glove gets kept by Lowe's on the right. They're going to face off of the Greenway end.
Good effort there by Drew Sams. I think that puck may have gotten deflected. Wright was able to stay with it and glove it.
Overtime hockey here from Hansel. We are even at 2.
See who we got here. Birdsall's going to stay out there with Ryla and Bekic. They're going to go up against it now. So here we go. So Hermantown's going to put their third line out, Steve.
Interesting.
Pionk out and Antcliffe back out there.
Aaron Pionk and Tristan Birdsall. Greenway trying to control, trying to force it up the boards. Kept in right point. That one blocker save at the bottom of the far circle to the end board, sent around by Lance. Kept in for the right point. No, it is, and it's loose. Beckett trying to get to the foot, lost his footing. He goes down.
Yeah, no call there. He actually tripped over the back of Peterson's skate as he tried to go by him. Good no call.
Over on the far boards, loose to the circle, picked up by the Hawks. Aiden Dowd's pass to the near wing, out at center. Lance sending it ahead for Greenway to Ryla. Ahead down the near wing. It's sent in deep by Birdsall. Greenway wanting to make some changes, and Birdsall skates out. Over on the far side, Lawson couldn't corral that puck. It goes back into behind the Hawk net. Giving up the right wing. Antcliffe puts it out to center rise to Aiden Dowd. And Aiden Dowd mishandled it, lost it, and that causes an offside.
I don't want to say overhandled it. He tried to take a wide stick handle there, and it just kind of went off the stick and caused the puck to go back offside. But, you know, I like that those three young guys, you know, it's good they give them a shift with all their horses to rest up a little bit. And Dowd there, you know, just kind of slipped off the stick, but nice poise by those kids.
2:50 left here in overtime. 2-2 in the championship game. Long shot in, gloved by Logan. He's not going to drop it off. He'll keep it and we'll get a face-off.
If I'm Hermantown, I'm happy because the way my centers have been winning face-offs for me, this might, you know, Biondi's been solid in that face-off circle. You're thinking, let's see if we can get a chance out of this here. Micah Miller going against him.
Face-off controlled by Greenway. Now ahead of the near wing, out to center. Lawson's gassed.
Yeah. Playing possum a little bit too, I think.
Clearing attempt kept in by Greenway and Elich. Now Goetz on the right for Pierce. Puts it out to neutral. Elich. Soft pedaled it in, and the Hawks bringing it back the other way. Pierce, he's dragged down. There's no call. The puck to the near boards. Along the near wing. Goetz keeping it in. Knocked down with the glove of Thomas. Now Elich is there trying to block along the boards. It's played in the Greenway zone. We're down to 2 minutes here in overtime. Trying to pass to the front. Intercepted by Elich. Flips it to the near side. Miller will carry to center. Here's Christian Miller. Christian Miller puts it to the corner. He goes after the puck on the end board. Christian Miller in deep. Christian Miller, big and strong, on that back wall, fighting off a check. Miller tried to drag it and go to the front. And the Hawks get it. They put it out to center. Elich will take and send it across the ice to the far side, allowing Greenway to get onside and make changes. Pass up the right side for Pierce. Here's Pierce into the zone. Lance playing up. Pierce by Lance, and then coming over and picking him up is Riola. And back the other way, Britzel hitting Lawson, breaking in. Here's Lawson, closing. He shoots. Oh, and man in hand to make the save.
Oh, man.
Lance keeping it in for the left point. A shot, and that deflecting wide over the far boards. Getting it. A shot, and that's saved, and it cuts through to the near boards. Lance playing across. Oh, Lawson can't.
Oh, my word.
Or the deflected pass into the far circle, and Manahan making the save.
Oh, take your pick. What was the best save right there? There was 3 huge saves by Cole Manahan. 2 of them came on Dante Lawson. Oh, my word. You know, it's funny. You said he's gassed. He found enough energy on that last shift to generate about 3 great chances. But what a great breakaway pass that was. I'm not sure who gave it to him to start the play.
Turning, firing a shot right on that's deflected out as Birdsall.
Wow. That was crazy. A crazy sequence. What a pass by Cameron Lance, too, on that last one-timer by Lawson. Holy cow.
Birdsall, Tremblay, and Riola. Now, Goetz wanted to come on, and High wanted to come on, and the referee says, no, get back. Get back, JoJo.
Yeah.
Ethan Lund comes in and wins a draw from Birdsall. Center on the boards, and Sam sends one down the ice. We'll get icing called on the Hawks and a face-off in the Hawks zone.
They're going to be able to get the men they want out there, but one thing that Greenway's going to do is they're going to put Lawson back out there, and Grant Clapton's going to slow play it so his guy can get a little rest here. He better get him out there quick if he's going to put him out. He's not going to put him out. Okay.
He looked like it.
Birdsall Tremblay. Yeah, Birdsall Tremblay and
Here I'm videoing.
that's Ryla against the Biondi group. Actually, Baker's out there with Biondi right now.
Now the puck sent around the boards. Lund coming back to it for Hermantown. Here's Lund trying to come up the boards. Crashing on the right side was Ryla. Kicked in deep. Tremblay back into behind the net. Tremblay setting up. Lance Payne's on the shot. He did not get much on it. Practically a fan on the shot. Over on the far boards, Tremblay. Tremblay back to the right point. Trbojevic puts it around the curvature. Back into behind. In the corner, being checked in the corner. Birdsall loose along the board, stepping up. Lance keeps it in. Loose puck bouncing in the circle, gathered by High. Tremblay blocking it along the boards. It does come out to center. Here's Baker. Baker's got Biondi trailing. Baker into the zone. Backhand shot right on Logan White, making the save.
What an individual effort there by Baker. Just never stop moving his feet.
Look at the time of the clock,
2.3 seconds. Yeah, he had Biondi going to the net with him there, and Wright doesn't corral that rebound. It's trouble. I've been so impressed with both of these goalies tonight with their rebound control. It's been impressive.
Face off at Logan Wright's right.
So they got Jernander versus Biondi here on the faceoff. The last time Biondi had a faceoff, he tried to go forward. I think there's enough time to win it back and get a shot here. Oh, Greenway's going to call a timeout.
With 2.3 left. No. Grant Clapton says no. Look at that. They're going to have to use it.
Yeah, I think once the kid calls it. Grant's got his palms in the air.
Like what? Why? Oh, he's not happy.
He's not. He's going to regroup here. Here's the thing. 2.3 seconds. You're thinking, no, I don't want to use it here because there might be a point if we win this draw, we take care of business, run the clock out in the next overtime, assuming we get there. There's going to come a point in time when he's going to want to rest his horses. Yeah, I mean, he has not played his third line at all.
No.
In this overtime, and I don't think they played in the third period either. Now,
do you think Micah saw?
What's that?
Do you think Micah Janander saw a sign of timeout, or was that called on his own?
He must have.
Yeah.
Either that, or he went Chris Webber on the bit, but.
49-36 the shots. 49-36. This includes what did we start with? 5 minutes?
I don't even know. I thought it was 8. I thought it was 8.
Yeah.
Did you pay attention to how many minutes the overtime was?
It is 8.
Yeah, 8. Okay.
I just knew we were in overtime.
Yeah. Well, so who's going to take the draw? Birdsall, looks like. Birdsall versus Biondi. Biondi's on his forehand.
There we go. 2.3 left. Face off, and Greenway will clear it out to neutral. Doing so, Christian Miller, and we're going to go to another overtime. We will come back with an intermission. They're going to clean the ice, and then we'll come back and play more overtime hockey. We'll be back. Section 7 Single A Championship Hockey right here in WDIO. We are back at Amsoil Arena, 2-2 after one overtime, and it is the kind of game we hoped it would be, that it would be a good championship game. It wouldn't be a one-sided game. We saw 4 of those on Saturday. It was fun. It was hockey. It was playoff hockey. But tonight's really fun.
Oh, this is incredible. I mean, it's a replay of what we had last year. Second overtime now as we're getting ready for it, but the plays that were made in that overtime. You got kids who are tired, kids who are desperate. And just some fantastic opportunities, and we're going to show you some of those, but some fantastic saves prevented this thing from ending. Here's a good look at some early saves here. This is going to be right here. This is on a Brady Baker take to the net. Was able to get his glove on it. Brady Baker's had a strong game tonight. Hasn't showed up on the score sheet, but he's been playing hard. Here's a little play by Trombley where he comes around the side. And Manahan, in the full split form, was able to get that right pad out there. Look at this pass by Birdsall. Hits Lawson in stride. Lawson tries to go forehand, backhand. And you know what? There was a really good back-checking effort. Looks like that was Peterson to help thwart what he was going to do. That developed into 2 more excellent scoring chances that Manahan had to make the save. The last one being a one-timer on a feed from Cameron Lance. And he gobbled up that rebound. It was just a great positional play by him, and exciting stuff.
Well, we'll be back with more during this intermission. It's the second overtime coming up. 2-2 at the end of the first overtime. This is Section 7A Championship Hockey on WDIO. Overtime hockey, second overtime coming up here at Amsoil Arena, where Greenway of Coleraine and Hermantown are tied at 2. You got the goal scorers?
Yeah, I got them right here.
Okay.
We got Trombley started it off on a nice feed in front from Lawson. And then we had, I almost did it, Aaron Pion got a goal off of a slap shot rebound from Goetz. He won the face-off back to Goetz. Goetz fired it in. And then Blake Biondi got his ho-hum 34th goal of the year on a feed from Pierce, and started the play by Elliot Peterson. And then Trombley had that beautiful unassisted goal where he went forehand, backhand, toe drags ×2, and was able to get that pass, or that shot, wrist shot, a backhand shot past Manahan. And after that, it's been all saves.
Shots on goal in the third period, 7 for, for Hermantown and 8 for Greenway. Is that correct? Manahan had 8 saves and 7 saves for Logan Wright in the OT.
Yeah, I mean, pretty, the shots
49-36 in the game.
Yeah, after the first period, I believe it was 22-11 Hermantown.
Yes.
And since then, the game's been very evenly played. And the question's going to be now is Greenway going to have enough gas in the tank? And, if Hermantown keeps using that depth, the longer this goes, you would have to think it's going to benefit Hermantown. But again, it's one play that can make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And one penalty in the game. One. And that was back in the first period. That's big. That's big.
You know, that back-checking play where Lawson had that goal, I think we saw the replay, was Elliot Peterson. He came back. He resisted the urge to triple. I think he got a piece of him maybe with his stick, and I think it might have just thrown Lawson out a little bit, but he didn't trip him, which could have resulted in a penalty shot, but it got, opportunity times two, so big play right there, too.
All right, we'll be back. We have the second overtime coming up. Section 7 Single A Championship Hockey tied at 2 right here at WDIO. Second overtime hockey coming up here from Amsoil Arena. 2-2 after one overtime. 3 periods and 1 overtime of hockey. These two teams met back on January 15th. Hermantown have won 4-0. But keep it in mind, Ben Tremblay did not play. Cameron Lance did not play. And Christian Miller was lost during that game. They only had 13 shots on net.
Yeah, a little different story tonight, obviously. And, it's interesting. In my conversation with Grant Clapton before the game, he made a comment. He said, we lost a lot of hockey games this year. But the teams we played, he said, we played 6 or 7 teams that were Hermantown's caliber this year. And it prepared us for tonight's game. And they're showing evidence of that. They really, even when they got down 2-1, they were getting outplayed, I thought, fairly handily. No panic. They came out the second period and kind of dictated the way this game was played for a while.
Yeah, really.
And, Hermantown kind of got their groove, but it's been kind of a heavyweight fight. A lot of, guys on the ropes, and then they come back and make a play on the other end, and this is what it's all about, man.
Two pretty different teams.
Yeah, very different. I think, Hermantown does so much off the rush with so much transition where, and they play a little bit more of a pace game, whereas Greenway's content to control the puck, slow it down, make plays, and create a little bit, not quite in such a frantic pace, right? And that's because they got a bunch of danglers. You've got Tremblay, you've got Lawson, you've got that Bursell kid's got some nice mitts, Lance, it's a different little bit. And not to say that the Hermantown kids aren't some good stick counters on that team, because they really are. You're right, they do it differently.
Okay, let's go down to Dan.
I know.
Well, guys, it seems like it's deja vu all over again. I think it was Yogi Berra that said that. You can remember last year, double overtime needed. Just taking you down memory lane, that final score 5-4, Hermantown advancing in double overtime. Tyler Watkins scored a goal very late in that second session. In fact, it was at the 16:46 mark. So that was an instant classic, and it's easy to say this one is going to be one too. It's just a matter of who's going to get that big goal. Is it going to be Hermantown? Is it going to be Greenway? The winner advances to state. Guys, back to you.
Well, that's absolutely right. Double overtime last year, late into the overtime.
Yeah, I believe it was a play made by, not Jason Herder. Jake? No, I'm not getting his first name. I'm forgetting it right now. But he's playing for the Wilderness right now, as is Tyler Watkins. And, Biondi was on that line too, but I remember that play. Jacob, thank you. It was good, yes. And, your big guys got to come up big, and so far tonight they have. Biondi's got a goal. Tremblay's got a couple. Chip in from the third line. It'll be interesting to see who makes it happen here.
Well, Greenway's on the ice. The Hawks now arriving. They will defend at our right and Greenway at our left here in the second overtime session.
Nobody's really left the building. Great crowd here. They've gotten their money's worth so far. We've gotten ours.
Yeah, for sure.
We've been so fortunate in these section games the last few years. We've had some dandies.
Who was it, talking to someone before the game, they were looking at the Section 7 AA finals, of which we'll have tomorrow night. Said the last 7 or 8 years, all one-goal games.
And it sounds accurate. A lot of, right down to the wire, goals late and overtime games and things of that nature. It's can't ask for more than that.
They usually win big, or it goes to overtime.
Come on, Mike.
There's no middle ground with that.
That's pretty accurate.
Just showing games coming up.
Mr. Manahan defending at our right.
So in that first overtime, they have the goalie switch, so it's the long change. Now in the second overtime, they go back to the way they started the game. But if I'm not mistaken, they'll alternate each overtime now. Should we get on this one?
At our right and Logan Wright at our left.
47 saves for Wright. Is it 34 for Manahan?
And they've got Lawson, Birdsall, and Tremblay. So they move Birdsall between the two wingers for the opening face-off of the second overtime. There's the drink white pass to Tremblay. He's got 2 goals. Closing shot save. And that one deflected to the far boards. And now Hermantown with its turn. Biondi into the zone. Here's Biondi. Shoulder down. Nice job by Elich. There's a shot for the near boards. Deflected across to the far side. Lifted out to center by Dante Lawson. Wanted to get it behind the defender. The Tremblay going forward. And the 2 defenders backing up. Play to the boards by Lawson. He's nifty, but keeping him wide. Sam High. Here's Lawson. And High does a great job playing him. Put back in behind the net. Lawson lost it to the corner. Goes to it back. And sends it around to the far side. And into the corner, playing it Biondi. He'll put it out to neutral ice. A bouncing puck. Trying to play the head with Pierce. Broken up Lance. Brought in Lawson on the left. Along the wall. Lawson a shot. Corner save made. And kept by Menahan.
Wow, that was a bang-bang play at neutral ice there where Lance was able to poke check Joey Pierce. Joey Pierce was trying to pull that puck to the middle. Had he gotten past Lance, it would have been a 2-on-1 with Thomas on his left. Great play by Lance, but I tell you what, that was a little bit of a gamble, but he got her done.
They stop at Manahan's right. Hawk defenseman Lucia. Jackson Lucia sending it around for Ethan Lund. Kept in Vekic, but right to Peterson. Elliott puts it out to center. Shooting it right back in is Lance for Greenway, and is that
They're going to call icing. It was close. You know, it was one of those plays where Lance definitely had the puck on a stick on the other side of the red line, but it looked like the follow-through got to pretty close to the red line, and a lot of times they'll call that. Kind of a tough little call for the ref, but no question about it. He called icing the whole way.
Baker and Birdsall on the draw. Lance getting it for Greenway, sending it around on the near wing. Ryla puts it out to center, intercepted by Baker, turns, fires it back in. Far boards to the end board. On the end wall, reversing it around to the left. Lance for Vekic. Vekic sends one out to neutral ice. Brought in on the wing by Birdsall. Here's Birdsall turning to the far boards and turns himself right down to the ice. He's played out the far wall. Now sticks jamming there, goes back and behind, around to the near side for Lucia from Baker. Ahead to Lund. Here's Lund out to center. He's got Sams with him, crossing into the slot. A shot. Oh! And that one, was that deflected?
I think it was. I think it went off of one of the defensemen from Greenway there.
Left point, Lucia, top of the near circle. Shot near corner. He was aiming, and a blocker Salmon losing his stick in the process. Goaltender. Looking right in the slot. A shot. That one's deflected wide. They've got to try and get it out of there, and they win an icing call. That's a great icing right there.
Yeah, smart play there by Ryla. Again, we talked about it earlier, that you can still change when you ice it. Allow your goaltender to get a stick. And that was a weird play, right? The shot was going wide, and right, it almost looked as if he threw his stick at it and ended up hitting his butt end. And that earlier shot, as you mentioned, I think that actually went off of Trebojevic. That just went wide, almost trickled in there.
Biondi and Jernander. Biondi wins it to the boards. Greenway gets to the puck, forcing it out. Tremblay sent right back in. Sam High sends it in opposite side. Back into behind the net. Elich sending it up the left wing for Dante Lawson. Taps it ahead to Jernander, but skating to it is Antcliffe, and it comes out to neutral ice. Tremblay sending it across, skating to the puck. Lawson. Here's Lawson. Here's Lawson in along the left wing. Lawson down deep. Good job, Goltz. Loose puck picked up and then lost to Greenway's Tremblay. Throws it into the slot area for Jernander, and then pulled away by Biondi. Biondi passing out to center on the backside of a Thomas. Miller sent it ahead on the right. Knocked down, kept in Biondi, being checked by Tremblay. Now Jernander trying to clear it outside to neutral. It's saved, kept in, loose to the far wing, getting to it. And skating up the left wing, bringing it in on the far side. There's a shot.
Greenway! Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Yes! Drew! High five, Drew! Oh! 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 Oh!
I want to see that again.
Oh, man!
And that's Dante Lawson's 33rd goal of the season, and he's never had a bigger one. Here you get a look at it. Lance is, that's Elich that's going to throw the
Oh, man! Yes!
Was able to just go to the net.
Oh, boy.
And banged home that rebound. Wow.
Can we see that again?
Oh, boy.
That's a major upset.
I think there's a lot of people here who are in shock. You know, I think a lot of people in blue and gold are a little bit in shock. You know, I think there's a perfect example of that.
Lori's from the rain.
She's
all happy.
Eilish does a great play. It takes a little slasher, but he's able to keep
I think the whole state is happy.
And just a great play by Lawson to go to the net and get that rebound. Cole Manahan.
Oh.
He played, did everything he could there. Just tough little rebound there, but made the first save. Wow.
And Greenway is going to the state tournament, and the Hawks are not. That ends the long run.
I guess what, the third straight section championship between these two times. I guess you could say the third time's a charm. Another classic double overtime. I mean, look at the shots, 50 to 40. Absolutely crazy.
All right, we're going to go to the play of the game, and I think we know what it is. Brought to you by Hearing Wellness Center. It's the play of the game. There's Elich, his shot, glove drops, score. Lawson.
Unbelievable.
He actually, his stick was completely knocked out of his hands. Was able to regather it, keep that puck, and still get that shot at the net.
Hearing Wellness Center, healthy hearing for life. And that is your play of the game, and Greenway of Coleraine is moving on. Wow. Well, there's the shot heard around the world.
You know, you look at this Greenway team, and a lot has been made of the fact that, you know, there was a time where they weren't sure they were going to have enough players to field a hockey team. And that wasn't that long ago. Grant Clafton took it over. I think he knew he had a challenge in front of him. I think he probably knew he had a few kids coming up that, you know, were going to eventually help him, but he knew there was going to be some tough years in there. But he believed in this group. He told me before the Denfeld game that if they beat Denfeld, they're going to beat Hermantown. He believed it in his heart, and he got his players to believe too, obviously.
Now let's take a look at the player of the game. The player of the game. And the player of the game is our Essentia Health player of the game.
Pretty easy choice there. Dante Lawson gets his 33rd goal of the year. He also had an assist in tonight's game.
60 points.
Wow. On the first play of on the first goal by Trombley, he's got to get in the handshake right now, but as a happy young man.
Well, I'll tell you what, 1A, 1B, 1C, because you've got Trombley with a pair of goals tonight, and then you have the goaltender, Logan Wright, who we knew had to be really good, and he was better than that. And you know what? Some fans won't want to hear this, but this Greenway win really is good for hockey, and it's good for Section 7. And it's going to say, yes, it can be done. You can beat the Giant. And Greenway did that here tonight. It's good for hockey. Good for high school hockey in our area.
Well, it's good for the Greenway community, right? I mean, all the young kids that are, you know, young hockey players, you know, to see what these guys have done. And you look at Hermantown's program, and I think a lot of what they have going on out there could be attributed to the success that they've had at the high school level, getting to state year after year after year. And now, you know, Greenway getting there, it's a great shot in the arm for their program. You know, something for that community to get excited about.
And this loss diminishes nothing Hermantown has done, is doing, or will do. It just is really good for hockey in the area. And that's, well, Greenway wins it in double overtime, 3-2.
I tell you that, Patrick Andrews, he's one heck of a guy. I hear that from everybody. Everybody. Top notch. Absolutely.
Here, in this place, A game.
We're back in the Section 7 Single A Championship game. Greenway has just defeated Hermantown in double overtime, 3-2. Let's go down to the ice with Dan Williamson, and he has the winning coach.
I'm with head coach Grant Clapton. To put this into words, I know this is a long time coming. It's been a state wait of 18 years for Coleraine and the Greenway program. This has to feel good, and I imagine that's an understatement.
Honestly, I don't even know what to say. I am so proud of that group of kids and what they've done, and that the community deserves it. The people that put their time in over the last 12 years, Jim Lawson, Pat Geyer, saving a program, all the kids that came through to help save it, made it possible for them. I'm just so happy for those kids and that community, and you know what? Even though you work really hard and you can accomplish things because no one else thinks that, and you can do that against a Hermantown team, and they're a great team and they're well coached. But if you work hard and you believe in the right things, you can do that stuff.
This game lived up to the billing. I mean, this was the two best teams in Section 7A, and both teams clearly wanted it. What do you think separated you from them tonight?
Seconds and a bounce. I mean, I thought we had great goaltending. I thought they had great goaltending. They had some great opportunities. We had some great opportunities. Luck, testing, fortitude. I mean, we were built for this game with the season that we had and the adversity we faced, and they never quit. They never quit, and they never quit in this game.
Dante Lawson, huge semifinal game. A moment he'll never forget tonight, too.
Dante Lawson is an outstanding hockey player, and he's a special human being, and that's what it comes down to. He's a great kid. We have great hockey players, and we have great kids, and Dante is the leader of the pack.
So many people thrilled up in the Coleraine area and the Greenway Nation, if you want to call it that. Dom Lawson, I imagine, a special one tonight that's probably cheering his heart out.
Absolutely, and what that family's gone through, and how they've supported our team, and Dom comes to all the games that he can, and you know he's a part of our squad, and you know what, the kids play for him, and they play for that family. And
Dante's dad,
I'm at a loss for words.
his brother.
I'm so happy.
Coach, congratulations. Next up, state.
Yep, we got 3 more to do.
Guys, Section 7A Championship head coach Grant Clapton, back to you.
Fantastic. Great for Grant. Let's go to the save of the game tonight. Superior Choice Credit Union save of the game, and it's a good one.
Well, I tell you what, you take your pick, right? There were so many good opportunities tonight, and we're going to see Ancliffe come through, and he splits the D here, and Wright does such a fantastic job of staying with him. Rebound comes out, and I think that was Aiden Dowd that came through. Piant got a poke at it, and he was able to find the rebound there. But both goalies, and Grant Clapton said it, both goalies played their hearts out tonight. Both teams played their hearts out. What an excellent game. That's sad to see it end.
It was truly a championship game, and I see Grant Clapton and Patrick Andrews arm in arm, and two young guys who've just done fabulous jobs. And tonight, Grant Clapton, Greenway Raiders of Coleraine. Look at Grant right now. Oh, that's so fun to see. It's fun to see. It's tough to see the Hawks over here. They're not used to this. And but there are life lessons. There really are. If there's if someone wants to teach it, there's life lessons right now, and life lessons over on the other side as well. And so, wow, 3-2. It was, what was it, 2-1 after 1 in favor of the Hawks?
It was.
They did not score. They had not scored since the first period, and Greenway with 2 goals since then.
Well, you know, some guys who, you know, we didn't call on the score sheet a lot, you know, or, you know, Elich had the assist on that winning goal, but you know, that decor from Greenway, Christian Miller, Trebojevic, Lance, Cameron Lance, I mean, the 4 of those kids, after that first period, and you could tell Grant Clapton was not happy with their D coverage. Man, did they step it up in that last, you know, 2/3 of the game. Yeah, and there was some luck involved. But on the other side of it, you know, I thought, you know, the decor for Hermantown, especially Peterson and Goetz. I thought Goetz had a tremendous game tonight. I thought
he did.
As the game wore on, he got stronger and stronger, and he was really, really good.
There's a lot of really good young players on this Hawk team. They've got outstanding veterans, but there's some really good young kids there. All right, we've got another one coming up tomorrow night. It could very well be equally as good, and that'll be the Duluth East Greyhounds, the defending champions, and Andover. It's a rematch, just as this one was a rematch of last year when it was an equally great game, and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and all of it was fantastic, and that should be a lot of fun with our pregame at 6:30 tomorrow, and that game at 7.
This is the best time of the year, and if we can get a game that's close to this game, the quality of this game, then I'll be excited.
All right, and congratulations to the Hawks. You truly have been champions, and tonight it's Greenway's time.
What was that?
That's it. Steve Chazurski, Craig Caracas, Dan Williamson, and the whole crew will recognize that.
The rule